Run!
He's not the automatons.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I have a jetpack. Let's go. Oh, it costs stamina. That's bad.
It's not terrible. Trust me. With the amount of it, I called it a jump pack, not a jetpack, because you just go full.
You, Steve, your affinity for danger close, so you have to talk about that.
No, it's pretty apparent he has a death wish.
What weird are you playing that Payday? No one? Sad.
No. I missed that one. Sorry.
One of the difficulties was called Death Wish. Like, first was Overkill, then they said, okay, we need a new difficulty, it's Death Wish. And then, okay, we need a higher one, Death Sentence.
Get in. Get in. I don't know.
Automatons.
Go up in difficulty with these guys on this bots.
It's the bum rush of fucking jetpack guys. Like, they explode in your face.
And the berserkers. It was the combo.
Yeah, I mean,
the whole 9 yards.
That's been the combo all the time, right?
I don't know. It's the quantity, dude. Like 5 berserker parks plus 10 troopers. Kind of freaking brutal. Plus, bugs. The only bugs that gap close is hunters.
And prowlers. But, well, fuck prowlers. You can melee them. No, the worst thing is, the jetpack guys, they are just like the regular guys with the jetpacks. And it means they even have their weapon. Like, they're fucking machine gun jetpack guys. Back in the day, there was only like, we have a knife. Right? Now they have everything.
If they didn't blow up.
Wait, the jetpack robots
We're afraid of them.
I am.
They're just communists.
They're also silent.
The silent part a little bit, yes.
Yes,
Silent deadly, man.
I've now suicide difficulty.
I am covered in blood.
Hey, same.
Because it's our blood. It's the blood we do.
Alright, new gun.
That is going to be the last one for me. Yes. I am.
Did you unlock difficulty 7 with that one?
Yeah, suicide difficulty.
Yeah, that's kind of brutal, Andre.
Hello.
Oh, look at coincidence again.
No, not this time.
I know. I was just gonna mess with.
What's up?
Nothing.
No, what is up?
We just know why you're here.
Why am I here?
You're here to hang out with your friends that have also said things.
Dang. Whatever. Yeah. I am. I'm
What's up, Spartan?
nothing much, Andre.
Listen to him.
Much
He's,
good.
he's flabbergasted at the audacity that we have assumed his purpose here. Here, bucko.
Whoa, that's our phrase, Ash.
Oh, God.
And then what are you guys talking about? Nothing evil was said.
That's an Ohio term, Buster.
What about Buckaroo? What state does
Listen
that
here,
belong
pal.
to?
I think that one is just southeast
I'll send you straight into the under.
America.
I'm not your pal, buddy.
Not your buddy, pal.
Yeah,
You already
fuck.
messed it up.
Yeah, I wonder why.
You're more of a buzzkill than Buzz Killington. That he was. I am.
Are we doing more missions or?
We have a fourth. Ash.
We need a fourth.
Don't you volunteer me? I'm doing stuff.
But are you doing stuff in WoW or doing actual stuff?
I'm doing stuff.
Wow.
I absolutely can. One's spreading glorious managed democracy, the other's playing WoW, okay? There's a huge difference. Wait, we have the evacuate high value assets defense mission. Who
so
wants
what I'm
to remember the
hearing
creek?
is,
I mean, why not?
Let's go to 5.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this one with all the Berserker and Trooper rush.
Oh boy.
We set it to public since we had to get a rando.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Almost level 6.
Alright,
have fun. Don't die.
Wait, why is
Oh,
it?
we will.
Hello, how's it going, guys? I see chat has seen the new artwork. Let me grab you guys the link for it. I had to just set it up right there myself because I'm running a little bit behind. But Shiki did another fantastic job for me. There it is. I will pin that one just so that it's there. And let me actually, I probably need to dump it in chat for you guys on YouTube as well. So 1 second. I did just get the tweet live though. Do me the favor, go give that some love, the tweet for the stream. This is not the one that I will be linking. He on point as usual. Yeah, he does a great job. Always a pleasure to work with him. There it is for you guys as well on the YouTube side of things. And let me grab today's actual sauce. I did invert the image because the text is actually readable on the gun. Good day, mate. How's it going? Okay, I think we're good on that end. Let me pop this open. And we should be good to go. Chat, today I gotta have a real talk with y'all. $19 Estrella? No, it doesn't say Estrella. How's it going, guys? Here is today's artwork. Do me the favor as always and go give the artist some love as well there. Cat jump scare? Yeah, it happens. Flesh tuber? Yep. I figured Ash reminded me because like I had thought about doing this for my birthday, and this is kind of why stream was a little bit late because I was sitting there and I was just like, oh shit, yeah, I never did it. And so I was like, well, I need to have a talk with you guys today anyway, so why don't I just go ahead and do it? So I took the extra like 10 minutes setting this up again. So you're human? Yes. I'm not used to this anymore. I know, it's great, right? That's a good sign. That means that that you guys haven't seen me in a while, and therefore it's having its maximum effect. Oh my god, he got a haircut. I've had a haircut actually. In fact, this is the one that I posted for you guys the other day, but I actually went to my stylist and had her shape it up, but you guys can see it here, right? So it's like it's basically just long on top and shaved sides, which doesn't look that good from this side, but from this side I actually have it where it's like, you know, like full blown, like done up and everything. It's just basically whatever's left I just drape over the other side here. So flesh, yes. Oh shit, real can, yes. I'm gonna have to get used to that tonight, I guess, as everyone's gonna be like, what the hell? But yeah, no, I'm I needed to have a talk with you guys because there's been shit that's been happening to me for like a while now. Cad, what did you do to Craig? I killed him. Actually, Craig killed Cad. Because hi, this is Craig. But yeah, no, I don't think it's like crazy to say this. Actually, let me real quick here jump into something just so that way my AP is actually ticking, because I think I capped a little bit before stream this time around. I've still been running the same comp here. Haven't been doing anything that's crazy. I see my hair sticking up now. But basically, yeah, like I've just been running the same comp for this. That's a nice art on the side, indeed it is. It's here. Now my head is getting watermelon sliced. Was the killing in a high schooler fashion can be the only one? No. So I've been doing the node this way so far, and it works. Like the only issue is depending on RNG, certain things work out better or worse for me from this one. But so for instance, I actually have Morgan Le Fay cards here, so this should actually be one of the good ones, as I should be able to basically pull one of these. And just go bam, bam, bam. And then I think I want that. So even though I'm not placing it on Squirtoria, I should get the extra party-wide refund from it. And then boom, there you go. And that should be enough to basically get Morgan Le Fay's to her NP without having to use her first skill, which allows me to pop it on the third turn, which makes this clean without having to use anyone else's NP. Morgan not 120 on an A. Yeah, I don't have the grails for it right now. I'm working down the list. Like right now I'm on MHX, so we're getting there. And then let's do this. That should be good still. I got Huyan Zhou today. Nice. Congratulations. What's the real talk about? So the real talk is, you guys know, I've been struggling here for a while. And I feel like I can finally talk to you guys about that. And that's kind of why I wanted to as well do real face today. I want you guys to see me, because if there's one complaint I have about my VTuber model right now, it's that it's not very expressive, in the sense that like I don't have like the big normal VTuber eyes, so you don't see like all of my expression from my eyes, which is where a lot of VTubers get it done from. So you're going to get that a little bit more from me here as FleshTuber, and therefore you'll actually be able to see how I actually feel and read my face, especially for those of you guys that have known me for years and knew me from when I did stream with real face. Basically, like I said, I've been going through some shit. You guys know that. I've tried to do my best in spite of that, but I had a moment yesterday and I still streamed. In fact, having streamed today, I think, yeah, we will have streamed every single day this week, which is the first time that's happened for me in like a month. So I did good this week. I managed to cover all days with streams, other than, you know, like the weekend and stuff, but I've always been that way on the weekend. So but yeah, so like I wanted to do good this week because, you know, we've had hurricane, we've had numerous other crap basically that's happened to me in the interim. And like I said, I've been going through some shit on the side. I've been trying to like keep it out of stream and not let it impact stream, but it does. There's just no way it can't not, because it affects my mentality. It affects my attitude. It affects my like work effort and desire and energy levels. And I think you guys pick up on that. And I think that causes numerous issues in and of itself. So this issue that I've been faced with is, I'm going to say it's like a midlife crisis, right? And it's weird because I've told you guys before that I've already had a midlife crisis. For me, the problem that I've been having, especially, this problem goes back even further, honestly. But needless to say, what I'll kind of jump to and say here is I had a moment yesterday where before stream, I basically came home and I was a wreck. You can ask people in VIP. I'm sure they won't really tell you much of anything, but basically I came home, I was a wreck, and I didn't really feel like talking about it. And it was one of those deals where I had a bombshell dropped on me at the end of work on Thursday. And that wrecked my day. And I basically was so distraught by this that I ended up having to, despite having already left work, like call my father and talk to him. And I don't want to like reveal too much here because I don't want to dox myself, nor do I want to really like get too deep into this into nitty gritty detail. But long story short, our firm, we found out that we're probably going to lose one of our biggest clients, and we're not a big firm. We are, I'd say we do very well for the size of firm that we are, but it's one of those deals where if we lose this client, it will really hurt. Everybody will have to tighten their belts for a bit. Everybody will basically just have it kind of be a little bit rough. And in regards to that, that was kind of, for me, the straw that broke the camel's back. Because this was just like a microcosm of a bigger situation for me. So, like I said, I ended up having to, like, my dad was the one that broke that news to me. And he broke it to me at the end of the day. And, like, I didn't know how to cope with it. I didn't know how to process it. You might be thinking, like, what the hell? This isn't that big of a deal or something. Or, like, why does that matter? Why does this impact you so much? I'll get to that. But the long story short is, yeah, I ended up having to call my father and talk with him about this and, like, kind of rehash and reiterate. And then I ended up, I felt a little bit better from that phone call, but I had to tell my dad, I was like, look, tomorrow morning, aka, this morning, we need to talk. Like, I need to sit down with you one-on-one. And I could tell that freaked my dad out because I don't do that. Like, I think my dad low-key thought that I was going to quit on him. That I was just going to be like, I'm done. Because my dad knows I stream. He knows I'm reasonably successful with it. I don't think he knows how successful or to what degree. So, like, he knows I'm more successful than most streamers. But I don't think he knows how successful, right? And I've never really gotten into that. And the only person I've ever really talked to that about, actually, ironically enough, is my mother. And I've told her, it's like, look, I'm not successful enough to make this my actual life, right? Like my profession, my job. And in that process, well, I'm sure she relays some of that to my father. I don't think he actually gets like the general gist, or maybe he just doesn't think that she actually knows what she's talking about. Because my mother asks, my father doesn't ask, and so that's why she gets told. But, like, yeah, so I think he, like, low-key thought that I was gonna, like, drop that bomb on him. Because I told him, I was like, listen, I don't want to put more on your plate, but we need to talk. So now you guys know what that was yesterday. I didn't let that flow into stream, really, although I did make some cryptic comments towards the end of stream about I don't know what my future holds. That's exactly what that was talking about, because the comment that I made when I came home that day Hello, Trubs. Welcome, everybody. How's it going? Guys, if you haven't ever checked out Mr. Two Love Trouble, make sure you go do so. I was right in the middle of a very serious conversation, so the timing is terrible, but like, we'll take this moment. Guys, go follow Trubs, my boy Trubs, if you haven't already. Naked Human, hello. Yeah, for those of you guys, if you haven't seen me in a while, I'm normally a VTuber, but this is how I used to look, at least some. But again, I hope you guys had a good stream. How was JP? Were you guys how far did you get? Did you end up finally being able to translate it all? Been a bit indeed. So, anyways, back to the conversation that I was having. I told people, and this is gonna sound like a doozy to the people coming in right now off the raid, but I told VIP when I got home, I was upset. Shit happened and I didn't know how to process it, and everyone's like, okay, what happened, right? And I told them, I was like, I don't know that I'll be able to stream anymore. My streaming career might be done. And they were like, what? like what? Where's this coming from all of a sudden? Because I keep it to myself, and I don't. Why is that? Oh, I think I touched the capture card somehow. And I keep it to myself, and I don't really, again, I don't mix these aspects of my life very often. You guys hear tidbits from me, but you don't hear much of anything. And in case anyone's wondering, part of the reason why this is because, like I was just explaining to people, our firm is probably losing our biggest client. And it's going to hurt. And we might be able to salvage that. We might be able to get them back, but it's definitely going to be an issue for us. But like I said, to me, that was actually the straw that broke the camel's back, and I went to go talk with my father, and I actually had a very productive discussion with him today, but I'll get into that here in a minute, because I want you guys to understand where all this is coming from and why this matters so much. This has been affecting me for 2 years. 2 years. Like I said, we're not a big firm. Real life wise, I'm busy all the time. I'm either streaming or I have work. And you guys know I'm an accountant. I work a shit ton of hours because of that. So basically 2 years ago, we lost somebody that was my closest friend. He was my coworker for 10 years. He was literally somebody that I'm not going to say he had been with the firm as long as I have, because, you know, I've grown up with it at this point and literally always been involved with it. But yeah, like that's how long I had known that guy. And he was my real life best friend at that time. I'm no longer friends with that guy. And the reason I'm no longer friends with him, he fucked us hard. And I still cannot forgive him for what he did. And I've tried. Like to a degree I can forgive him, but I cannot forget what he did. And so I don't really want to associate with him anymore. Because it's funny, because I have seen him since he left the firm, and he's tried to be like, oh yeah, we should hang out again. And I'm like, no, bro. Like, and part of like, I remember you talking about this. Yeah, I have kind of mentioned him before, but it's like part of the issue with that is like, you know, even in spite of like things like how he treated the firm on his way out and everything, like, oh, he remarried after losing his wife, which that was a difficult time for him. I was there for him through all of that. I don't begrudge him the weirdness of how he acted during that time, because I think that's difficult on anyone, and I understand that. He remarried after that. I'm not even going to begrudge him remarrying. What I begrudge him is I wasn't invited to that wedding. And the reason I wasn't invited is because it was awkward, because he had just left the firm. So not only did he burn the bridge with my family He directly burned that bridge with me. And it's why, like, yeah, I want nothing to do with this guy anymore. Okay? But 2 years ago when he left, he was one of our senior accountants. At that time, I was not a senior accountant. I was a staff accountant. I was getting up there in the point of, like, I was a senior in everything but name. But I was not already at that point. He was one of our senior accountants. He left. It hurt the firm really bad when he did. Not because he was irreplaceable, but because he did it in the worst possible way, and it like left us holding the bag, and it absolutely screwed us with some of the clients in the way that he dropped the ball. So that was a difficult time. Literally, this past year, it's been a lot better to a degree, but the year prior, chat, and I didn't talk about this very often on stream, I got my butt kicked because I had to pick up all that slack for that guy. I had to get yelled at by clients. I had to watch my coworkers get yelled at. I had to watch our firm's name get dragged through the mud. That pissed me the fuck off. And that was rough. So that was already difficult. I'm going to be real with y'all. This past year at work, I've had my moments where I've done good work, but I'm doing like 50%. It's difficult to say, but it's like, yeah, I've been slacking off. But the reason I've been slacking off, and I've mentioned this before, and a lot more recently here especially, is like I actually like felt depressed. Like I straight up didn't feel like doing anything because the job was shit and I didn't like the coworkers I had, and essentially everything in every aspect of my life was going poorly. So I can't describe it to you guys other than to say, like, imagine just going to work every day and like you're there, you're physically present, but mentally you're gone. You're anywhere but there. You're just your mind isn't in it. You are just out to pasture. Okay? That's been me for the past year. That has been like, I give no fucks. I don't want to talk to these people. I sit in my like office with my door closed most of the time, and I just don't want to deal with any of this shit. That's been me. Okay? Yeah, I still get my work done that's essential that I have to do, but I towed the line. I didn't carry any extra burden, and I didn't want to do anything because I was burnt out. I was tired. I was depressed, and I didn't feel like dealing with people's bullshit. And I'm not going to say that didn't impact stream. To a degree, that has. I will readily admit that. I didn't want it to, but it has. So now let's fast forward throughout all of that back to the present. I find out we're losing one of our biggest clients. And this bomb gets dropped on me, and my father tells me it's going to hurt. And the thing that truly, really bothered me so much was I couldn't tell what he meant when he said that it was going to hurt. Did it mean, hey, we're going to have to tighten our belts, things are going to be a little bit tight for a little bit here? Or is this going to put the firm under? I couldn't tell the difference. And that's what had me so fucking beside myself. It's not the possibility that it could have been a firm ender. It's the fact that I didn't know, despite working at this firm for over a decade, and I couldn't tell how badly this would impact us. not only was I getting blindsided by this and worried about it, but I was pissed off that I didn't know. And it like I said, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. So I had to call my father, despite having talked with my father already, leaving work, going home, taking care of the dogs, and venting to people on Discord for a quick bit. I still didn't feel much like talking, and I just sat there, and I just was like, I got to do it. I got to call him. I got to know. I can't just leave things this way. So I called him. I talked with him. I got a little bit more detail, and I find out it's like, okay, it's not a done deal. We might not have lost them yet. It's just very likely to occur. But there is the possibility that we can work things out still. And I'm like, okay, that's a start. That's something that can ease that burden. And then basically I find out a little bit more, and I'm like, okay, this isn't going to be a firm ending event, thank God. So that alleviated that stress. And that's, Chad, I can't emphasize, I haven't said the word yet, but throughout all of this, my stress, my anxiety levels through the roof, right? I'm going gray. It's pretty obvious at this point, but like, yeah, oh my God, like that has been more than anything behind the scenes. My stress and anxiety over the entire like firm situation has just been really what is driving me. And I'm finally in a good place to talk about it. So, like I said, talking with him last night made me feel at least a little bit better, but I still told him, I was like, hey, we got to talk. And I sat down. I basically, this morning I walked in, said good morning to my father, walked right past his office, went to the back, got my coffee, walked right back into his office and told him, we need to talk. Assuming you have the time and you don't have a meeting right now, you're coming in my office. We're sitting down. We're talking. And I could tell it was the same thing where he was like, because he's like, oh, he doesn't do that, right? Like I have never demanded my father's time because my father always has everybody trying to get his time. So I just try to get my father when he's available. I normally take a back seat to everybody, basically. And I did. I put my foot down. So he closes the door. He comes into my office and we sit down and we talk. We have a very productive discussion. Because what I told my father was this. I am the presumptive heir for our firm. That is to say, at some point, I am going to take things over. At some point, I am going to be the person in charge. And I told them, if you want that to happen, it's not happening. And I told them the reason why, though, because I think he was thinking, oh boy, here it comes. He's going to quit on me. I told him, I'm like, I'm not quitting. I'm like, the reason it's not going to happen, you haven't trained me. You haven't given me the knowledge and the expertise I need to be able to run things around here. This is where my stress and anxiety level is, chat. I don't know necessarily like certain aspects about the firm. I can tell you my billable rate. I can't tell you the firm's overall billables. I can't tell you how badly the loss of that one client was going to impact us because I didn't know. I couldn't tell you how to do certain things in our office because I've never been taught them. As much as I know about accounting and a little bit the various inner workings of our firm, there's like this upper echelon that I have never gotten into, and it's because my father runs the vast majority of it. He does have other partners. They are very hands-off. He's the managing partner, and he does the majority of it. So that's where my stress and anxiety comes from. It's, I'm getting older. I'm expected to take things over, and I'm entrusted with nothing other than work. And I'm like, what the fuck is going to happen? So, like I said, this is what I meant by like a second midlife crisis. Like, I don't know what my future holds. And the whole reason I don't know what my future holds because I'm not being given the keys to my own future. And I tried to sit there and tell my dad, because I love my father. My father is one of the greatest men I've ever known in my life. I have the utmost respect and appreciation for everything that my father has done for me and for my family. But if there's one way in which my father is shit, it's in the same way that I am. My father can delegate things, but my father, just like me, if shit hits the fan, he takes that burden and he shoulders it every step of the way. He will do it all himself. And he told me, he's like, I didn't want to push you. He's like, I wanted you to be able to find your own way and stuff like that. I told him, I'm like, I need you to push me. You gotta do something. You gotta give me something here. I'm like, because as much as I'm appreciative of you not and allowing me the time and the effort to find my own way, I'm lost. I'm like, I have no idea where to go. I'm like, you have to show me. You have to teach me. And if you never teach me, there won't be a firm left to inherit. My dad was sort of the same way. Yeah. It's like I said, I appreciate him, but that is his biggest issue, is he just does not want to delegate and give it up. And he's like, because he's sitting there telling me, he's like, God, I'm so strung out. I'm so tired. He's like, I don't know how long I can do this. Not in the sense of like he's retiring, but in the sense of like he is just getting beat to all hell because he's not getting any help from his own firm and from his own company. And I told him, I was like, let me help you. I'm like, you don't let me help you. That's the issue. And so here's been the other thing that's been going on. Like I said, my father is basically the lead partner, right? Under the partners, we have what we would like to call senior accountants. My firm currently has 2 of them. I am one. Okay? The other one is an older lady. I'm going to say she's in her 60s. That other one has taken it upon herself to be what I would call the delegator. The person that hands out work to everybody. That's fine, because we have plenty of like staff accountants that are like underneath that. And even some like bookkeepers and other people. So she's going to be delegating down to these people. Okay? That's fine. The seniors are supposed to work directly under the partner. And yet, for the past year, and I told my father this is why he's not gotten a lot of work out of me. For the past year, this senior accountant has instead seen fit to attempt to delegate work to me. And I told him, I'm not doing it anymore. And if you try, I will quit on you. And I told him, I'm like, the reason why is she's a fucking idiot. And I'm like, I'm not saying this insultingly towards her. I'm like, she doesn't know who or what she's assigning. She doesn't know the client, and she's just dishing it out to whoever she can fucking stick it to. She's like the monkey flinging shit at the wall. And eventually, she's hoping that something sticks. And I'm like, the problem is, and I told him this, I'm like, I've been sandbagging my work. And he's like, I know you have. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, do you know why? And he's like, no, why? And I was like, because the faster I get work done, the more shit I get flung at me. And I told him, I'm like, I'm getting assigned trash heaps that shouldn't be assigned to me. And some of the staff accountants are getting things that are way too fucking hard for them. And they end up having to come to me and complain to me about it. And I'm like, what the fuck? So all of that keeps happening. And basically, I keep getting assigned these trash heaps. And I told my dad, I got assigned a non-resident partnership. So this is a non-resident, somebody that's not native to the United States, but they have a business here. I got assigned a non-resident partnership. It's a very easy return. I used to do them all the time. Thing is, I haven't done one in like over 5 years. So like, while I'm aware of how they work and how to do them, in that time, our entire firm's like software suite, data sheets, like everything that we use has changed. So like, while I know how to do it, I don't know how to do it anymore. That is to say, all the minutia of actually going through the process is not easy to do. So she assigns me this. It takes me hours to get it done. And I literally told my dad, I'm like, this is just one example of where if you had given that project to the appropriate person, it would have gotten done by a person that had far less in billable time, like in cost, right? And two, it would have gotten done far faster. I was like, meanwhile, you gave it to me. My billable is double the other person that it should have been given to. And it took me double the time. I was like, that's a fucking net loss for the firm. And I pointed it out to him. I was like, then I also got double whammied by that one because I literally had the office manager come up to me and go, you didn't fill out your billing sheet for this entity. And I said, I wasn't even aware there was a billing sheet. We don't normally have to fill out a billing sheet on anything. Only the NRs have that. And I like completely forgot about that being a thing. And so she's like, oh, you didn't do it. Here, do it. And I was like, I'm gonna just be real with you. Like, you could fill it out far faster. And what she pulled on me was, I'll go get somebody else to do it with you. And I was like, huh? I'm like, you literally know the answer. Just write the fucking numbers in yourself. Meanwhile, you're talking to a senior accountant who doesn't know how to do it. And your response is, I'll go get another person? We'll make this even more expensive? Like, what? So, yeah, like, and I told my dad, I was like, that's just one example. It's the most recent example. It's not even an anomaly. This is the level of crap that we keep getting dealt. And it's because she's in control because you're letting her be in control. I told him, I was like, take it from her. I'll do it. I was like, I don't care. You can give it to one of the other partners. You can do it yourself, or you can give it to me and I'll start delegating. Because at least I will go up to the individual staff accountants, the other senior, the partners, and I will ask them, which of these returns are yours? Which one should you be working on? Which client do you know? Rather than, hey, I don't, fuck it. You take that one. You take that one. You take, no, that's not how any of that works. So, like I said, yeah, I've been stressed. I've been anxious. Talking with my father alleviated a lot of that. And honestly, I got to hear something I've never heard in my life. It actually, like, it almost brought a tear to my eye. My father, for the first time in his life, told me he's proud of me. I've never heard that. Not that my father's like a hard man or anything like that. It's just, my father is usually a man that is reserved and doesn't say too much in that regard. So it was like one of those moments where it was like, God, you have no idea how much I just needed to hear that. So like, if any of you out there is old enough to have a kid, tell your kid you're proud of them, especially if you actually are, right? Like it helps so much to hear as a child that you are on the right path, that you are doing the right things. And I think part of the reason for that, part of the reason he said that was like, yeah, he's like, I'm realizing my child is me. He actually does care. He actually does want this. And I was like, I've never told him anything other than that. And I was like, and I told him, I was like, the whole reason I was like, I needed to bring this up to you before is like, I didn't want to dump all this on you. But I was like, the office is got problems. And then we ended up talking about several of the other people in the office because I think he's going to fire one of them very soon here. And I was like, yeah, because like, so he's telling me, he's like, I don't want you to have your door closed all the time. And I was like, listen, my door is closed all the time because it gets so damn loud. And I'm like, it gets so damn loud because the people across the hallway are constantly all over the place. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude. Like, and I told him, I was like, even with my door closed, it's not fully closed. Like I leave it like cracked, right? And I'm like, I hear everything. It's like, it just lowers the volume enough that I can concentrate, especially with earphones in. I was like, I still hear. They think they can't be heard. They're talking so fucking loud. So it's like, and I'm like, and I know they're not doing work. I know they're not like on task. And part of the other problem was too, because he was telling me, he's like, apparently, and this is news to me, but he was saying that I guess Amazon made some sort of proclamation that they're not doing work from home anymore. He's saying everybody's got to be in the office on site, that sort of stuff. So he was telling me, because like we still have people that work from home, and I told him, I was like, look, we're not Amazon. Like obviously, right? And I was like, we still need that capability to work from home, to work remotely, because one, it's good for us, and two, it's good to have that adaptability should a situation call for it. And I was like, the problem is you can't just let someone work from home because they want to. It's like, you need to put your foot down and tell them, no, bitch, get in the office. Like, or you were fired. I was like, the issue with this is because we do have an employee that very chronically does this. And because of that, I told him, I was like, it's worse than you realize. I'm like, you realize that employee is a problem. I'm like, what you don't realize, that is trickling to everybody else in this office. And I told him, I was like, because he was talking to me about like workflows and stuff. He's like, yeah, he's like, I don't think you know the workflows entirely. I was like, I don't think you do. And I was like, you're right. I don't know necessarily the upper end of the workflow. I was like, you don't know the lower end. And he's like, well, yeah, I do. And I was like, no, you don't. I was like, you don't know what's actually going on. You don't see what the rank and file are doing. They're not going to show you because you're Mr. Big Boss Man. The second you come walking around, they all straighten up, get back to work. You know, it's you're not seeing the corners that are getting cut, the basically the laziness and the other stuff that's actually occurring behind the scenes. So like I'm telling him all this, and I pointed out to him, I was like, the problem that you have is because you're letting that one employee take you for granted and work from home. That is making your other employees slack off. As they see employee A get away with things, employees B and C try to get away with shit too. I was like, you have to ride herd on that employee to make them go, oh shit, I don't want that to be me. So that is kind of the issue. That's like, he's complaining. He's like, we're not getting work productivity out of the office right now. I'm like, you're right, you're not. Here's why. I was like, I've seen it all. You don't think I'm aware of this? I'm like, great. And this is what I told him. I was like, you don't think I'm aware of this? I'm like, the best part is neither does the rest of the office. They think I'm stupid. That's exactly what I want them to think. I was like, I see fucking everything. I see all the shit that they're pulling. I was like, I can tell you exactly who is working out and who isn't. And I pointed out to him, I was like, look, every employee that he has hired, I have usually within like a month gone and talked to him about that employee and like how they working out and stuff. And I've been like, I have been 100% so far in the last like 5 employees he's hired, where I have told him whether or not I felt like that employee was a good fit and they were going to be a good fit. I'm 100%. Every single employee I've told him that I didn't think was going to be a good fit has either been fired or is about to be. I was like, Listen, at this point, I think I'm just an insanely good judge of character. It's more, I'm very quick at this point to pick up on people's both better and worse traits. I notice them immediately. I'm like trained to spot them at this point. So I see it happening, and part of this is streaming, right? Like getting to interact with so many people, I immediately know who my problem children are. I immediately know who my good, like my better angels are, right? So it's one of those deals where, yeah, I sit there and I just go like, oh, yep, that person's gonna be a problem. Sure enough, oh, yep, that person is a problem. There you go. When I'm working from home, I'm still at work. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like all work from home is bad. It's just one of those deals where I think work from home is a specific set of circumstances that needs to be treated very specifically, like to each individual employee, to each individual business. Everybody has to have their own A, set of rules, B, set of circumstances, and C, essentially a tolerance level for what you will and won't allow. Because I hate to say it, but yeah, some people, if you let them work from home, they're just going to fucking slack off. It's just how they are. And it's because as the boss, yeah, you can ride herd on them, but like, you shouldn't be having to sit there and constantly ride herd on them. Usually the boss has a job too. So while that is part of their job, the boss can't constantly watch and monitor. It gets tedious, right? And that's a problem in and of itself. Am I a good boy? Yes. But yeah, no, I wanted to talk to you guys about that because that's what's been hanging over my head. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I'm going to be taking on a little bit more responsibility at the office. I'm going to be getting more training. That's good. I'm glad. I'm not going to be stuck. I actually feel like now there's stuff that I'm going to be able to do. It may mean that I maybe have to put in some more hours here and there. That's the gravity of things. So like, yeah, again, in that regard, I'm still not entirely sure what my future holds, but I don't think like I'm not going to be able to stream, right? Like that's the problem that I had on Thursday was like, chat, I streamed for you guys on Thursday. For all I knew, that was my last stream ever. I didn't know. You got to stream every single one like it is. So, like, it just is what it is. But I think, like, at this point, yeah, that's crisis averted, so. But anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about that, so that's why I wanted to give you guys the real face again. At least now you had a real talk with your dad and figured some things out. Yeah, I see my dad all the time. I talk with my dad all the time. We just like shoot the shit. We just, talk about like, I don't know, like real world events or like sports or something like that. Like we don't talk job because job is so much of our life already. So usually when we're off the job, we don't talk about the job. We don't need to talk about the job. We don't want to talk about the job. So having that, man, oh man, so much better, right? Like getting to actually have a heart to heart with your father, I rate that a 10 out of 10 experience, assuming your father is a good person and not a total scumbag. Off job is relaxed time, yeah. And actually, I may be going to eat with them tomorrow. I don't know what the deal is. I gotta talk with them. Because again, technically it was my birthday on Monday, and which again, woohoo! Yeah, yay, Cad's birthday. Last week we had Milton. This week I'm not sure if my firm's imploding. I was like, damn, I'm not gonna say I need like preferential treatment, but I'm like, can you at least like distance this from my birthday? Like, what the fuck? So just not a good thing. Birthday explosion felt that way. Yeah. Anyways, let's continue with the grind. Okay. But how is everybody doing today? How's chat doing? Caro Kuraido, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I'm just now getting to that. Frozen Fire Neko, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate it as well. Our Twitch baby is born. What would you like to name it? Please don't say explosion. I just meant turn the CQ. Hey, nice. Excellent presence, huh? So this is really funny. Oh God, I forgot to call my brother this week. Man, God, this has been a fucking week. Oh yeah, and by the way, chat, on the side of all this, increasing anxiety is like me knowing that my clock is ticking and like trying to find someone dating wise. So like, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, which, you know, again, I've been dating. I've been using one of the dating apps, and I've just been like, God, I hate these things. They're miserable. Mostly because like you talk to people and they take like I actually do manage to get like women that'll like me and stuff. I actually do manage to match with them and to have conversations with them. But like the conversations are always so damn slow. Like you respond and then the person doesn't respond back for like a day or 2 days or 3 days. And you're like, I don't know if it's just that they're weighing their options or if it's like they're just busy. You just have to be patient, because if you're a psychopath and you're like, why aren't you responding to me? People are going to be like, oh my God, like this person's crazy, right? So you don't do that, but it's a different world out there, yeah. I mean, in that regard, it's nice because I'm actually like, it's like getting to meet people without actually having the burden of having to go out, but it has its downsides too. They're probably buried in requests, to be honest. Probably. I've told people before, and I've said this, like, look, I don't think I'm the most handsome guy in the world, right? I think, objectively speaking, I'm like maybe a 7. Okay? Thing is, I have a good life circumstance. I own my own house. I have dogs. I've traveled the world. I'm not poor. I don't have debt. Other than my house. But like, I have no venereal disease, full disclosure. But like at that point, yeah, like I'm not gonna say I'm a catch or anything like that, but it'd be very easy to just leave certain things out of my profile, like my love of anime, my love of gaming and other nerdy things, and then just use photos of me where I've actually done normie things, and then just tout all that stuff, and then I'd be like, boom, and I'd just be swimming in requests. I'd get so many women by doing that. I've just said, like, I don't want those women, because those women are not like what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that like nerdy girl, that girl that is kind of like me. She doesn't have to be the same as me, but is like, she's at least gonna like appreciate what I appreciate in that regard, or at least be able to tolerate it, you know? So that's more what I'm looking for, but bitches be crazy. That's the best way I can say it. They fake. Oh, I've said it before, right? Like, you know, I've ranted about this, about like people on their dating profiles are like, what do you like? I like to travel. And I'm like, cool, like kind of everyone does. Like that's not like a personality thing. Like if someone asks you what you like, you don't say travel. You say like checkers, or like the New York like Mets, or like, man, I really like, I don't know, like long walks on the beach and margaritas. You don't go travel, right? Like that's like someone asking me that, and I'm like, I like big tits. It's like, sure, you and everybody else, but like that's not your personality. So it's just funny to me. Go to Anime Con for a nerdy girl? I mean, probably, right? I was saying, like, I think what I need to do is I need to, like, go to one of the local ones, because apparently there's some, like, I don't know about Orlando, but I know Tampa has, like, a Comic-Con at least. So, like, I probably need to, like, just go there and wear one of those, like, full billboard signs and be like, would you date me? Or something like that. And then just see, like, you know, like the amount of attention I can potentially get off of that. Hey, CZ, how's it going? Go to local anime meetups and conventions. Yeah, the problem for me is like I don't live anywhere where like there's not like a local meetup, right? Like I could go to one, I'm gonna have to drive a long way to get to one of those things. So could also go to Anime Weekend Atlanta. See, like that's a long drive. That's like, and I'm guesstimating here, so you can't you guys can't triangulate my position, but I think it's like that's something around like 7 hours worth of driving to get to Atlanta for me. Like that's I could do it. It's just a long fucking drive, and I don't know that I want to. Oh, only? See, there you go. Bob's like. You know what? Here, it's 7 hours as the swallow flies. Cad lives in Pennsylvania? Yes, you figured me out. Thank you, Persh. One of you is based. Okay? You know what? Just for that, we are pinning Persh's comment. I can't even see it because the stupid ad break thing. There you go. One of you is based. The rest of you are too slow or ignorant. It's 6 hours to Houston. You're not getting to me. That would require me to first go to Houston and then drive to you. Unsubscribed? Listen, you're too slow. You have no one to blame but yourself. Europeans never swallow. What do you mean? Hello, Hera. How have you been, bud? No, I mean 7 hours is nothing to me. Listen here, bucko. To some of us, that's a long period of time. You know what? To any one of us that doesn't live in Texas, that's a long period of time. I don't know. Maybe Californians with being able to drive north and south in their state, but for me, it's not. Oh my god. Chat's gaslighting me. Doing all right, been lurking. Good. Glad to hear from you. Don't be such a stranger, you asshole. You mean the coconuts do not grow here? I mean, you put the lime in the coconut. Get one of those self-driving cars? Listen, we were talking about self-driving flying cars yesterday. I think already the technology's got to go a little bit before I start considering that. Plus, I'm somebody I actually do like to drive. Like, to me, driving is like this therapeutic thing. So, like, I don't want to let some freaking machine take that from me. Try driving with a paralyzed wife. No, I'm good. I don't think I want to. I mean, like my condolences to you. I don't wish that on anyone, but like, I'm good. I used to drive from Jacksonville to Orlando for a monthly D&D game. Jacksonville to Orlando for a monthly D&D game. Oh, that shouldn't be too long though, right? Is that like what, like 3 hours? Probably. I assume you took I assume you didn't take A1A. I assume you took like is it 95 that's on the coast? I think it's 95. The picture of the guy and a link, help find guy's name, wife.com. Nice. Planning to drive from Illinois to Texas in like a month. Oh, hey, while you're there, Blue, can you do me a favor and go assassinate Bob? He'll really appreciate it. Went to college and joined an anime club that went to all kinds of local nerdy events. See, that's kind of fun. That sounds cool. Like, I'm sure it's awkward at first, but I can see that being a really cool thing. In Germany, they're trying to get flying cars to work. It's seemingly far. Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm not sure AI self-driving can handle Florida road conditions. Oh, it's not the Florida road conditions that are the problem. It's the Floridians. AI can't handle Floridian drivers. Like, I already have a hard enough time handling Floridian drivers. I'm very lucky. Sure, he would. No more math. He can be at peace. No. Listen, chat. Bob hates statistics, not math. Bob loves math. Bob lives for math. It is his entire, like, being. Wait, who are you? I'm the VTuber formerly known as Khadroth. I guess I should say I'm the flesh tuber formerly known as Khadroth. Hey, I can't handle actual dumb drivers. Yeah, I mean, like, nobody can, right? The times you hear Cad talk about crazy drivers after watching anime is very funny. Oh, listen. Yeah, if you guys ever come into... So, full, like, PSA for anyone that didn't know, but a lot of the days, like, my lunch break, usually around 11 a.m. Eastern to, like... I'd say not 11 a.m. It's usually around, like... probably about 11:30, but around 11:30 a.m. to about like 12, I'm usually in anime watching like a show, right? Because I just stop in on my lunch break because I basically I come home, I let the dogs out, let them have some time, and I just sit down, eat my lunch, and watch some anime. So I figured, why not hop into Discord and watch it with people if there's anyone around? So, like, yeah, all the time you guys will hear me like ranting about like my commute, because my commute, I only drive like, I think it's like 4 miles from my house to work. And that 4 miles may as well be like a death race. Like, it's just absurd. Like, and I shit you not, right? Like, one of the weirdest occurrences to me driving home was not even dealing with another driver. It was literally, I was driving home, I was driving along a lake, and a hawk flew by with a fucking stick and hit my car. Like, right on the fucking windshield. How does that happen? I don't know. Like, it actually left a little nick in the windshield. Is that 1 year ago? Yeah, that was like probably about 1.5 to 2 years ago. Yeah, like that's one of the weirdest occurrences that still happened to me. And I've had shit tons of weird occurrences. Are we counting hawks as Floridians as well now? I don't know. If you want to, we can. Are you insured against hawk? You think the insurance guy is going to believe that? So what happened? I was driving along and yeah, this hawk came out of nowhere. Okay. Did it hit the car? I was like, well, it didn't hit the car. What do you mean? It hit it with a stick. What do you mean the hawk hit your car with a stick? Like, did it take a swing at it like a baseball bat? Yeah. That's why you have dash cams. I shit you not. Like, I freaked the fuck out when it happened. That's why it was such a, like, I was like, ah! Because I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, Chat, it didn't like come at me, right? It came like across me, smacked the freaking windshield, and flew off. And I was like, the Hawk had some agenda? It was like, the Hawk was like, nothing crazy has happened on your commute today. So, fuck you. We're gonna make something happen. Nature finds a way. They will ask you if that's a Hawk Tua joke. Yes. And hang up. Yeah. It's a Hawk Tua windshield. No one will ever believe you as it flies away. Exactly. Nature hit and run. Pretty much. It like... Like I said, if it hadn't happened to me, I wouldn't have believed it. I would have just been like, huh? What do you mean? I'm afraid of Florida now. You should be. Just Florida itself is bad enough. Here's the thing. You need not ask yourself how bad Florida is. You need to ask yourself how bad the people that manage to survive in Florida are. That's the terrifying thing. Florida slowly trying to dethrone Australia. Oh, no. Australia has us beat in terms of, like, creatures. We just have Australia beat in terms of people. Australians are really nice people if you ever meet any of them. I've had the pleasure of meeting several over the years. Never met a bad Australian. Between alligator and hawk, I'm kind of scared of your stats. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you saying you're crazy, Cad? I'm not saying that. Cat lives in Florida. That's crazy enough. Exactly. You like anime? We're crazy. But at the same time, I live in Canada where we're attacked by geese pretty much at any time of the year. Oh, geese are fucking like terrifying. I agree with you. Like geese are just ornery all the freaking time. It feels like you're like, hey, little goose, would you want a cracker? Honk. Honk. And it's not like a playful honk. It's like an angry honk. It's like a get the fuck away, step the fuck off human honk. I've seen Moist critical. I think Florida has a base level crazy. Yeah, Moist is over in Tampa, if I remember correctly. You can use geese as guard dogs? Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I absolutely believe it. If I were like a post office worker and like there was a yard full of geese, I would chuck the package over them. I'd be like, nope, I ain't going in. Like not a chance. I would risk it with a dog before I would risk it with geese. My dad was once late getting home for half an hour because there was a traffic jam on the way to home from work caused by two geese getting it on in the middle of the road. And I suppose if you tried to honk at them, it just added to their pleasure, didn't it? Yeah, I could see that being an issue. See, if it were me, I would just start like moving towards the geese and being like, I'm gonna run you over if you don't fucking move. That's how I've learned how to deal with Florida wildlife. It's like if you're on the road, yeah, I'm not going to try to hit you. But my tolerance only goes so far. If you keep standing there blocking this road, we're going to play chicken. One of us is going to move. It's like, I'm going to keep going straight. And if you're in the way and you get hit at that point, it's not my fault. Oh, Lord, it's coming. Exactly. Wasn't aware of the torturing part of dolphins, but I'm not surprised. Oh, no, dolphins are assholes. Absolute assholes. Don't ever trust a dolphin. Can't do that with a moose? Oh, yeah, no. Like you can do that with, like, smaller creatures. You cannot do that with anything that is, like... I'm going to say anything that's, like, hood height. If it's hood height, don't touch it with your vehicle. You're going to die. Dolphins are psychotic animals? Yeah. Unless you have a brush guard, that's a different story. But I still don't advocate for that. Don't do that. You'll make PETA sad. And by PETA, I mean people eating tasty animals. You're just depriving them of some free game. Play chicken with a moose. Moose be like, yeah, let's see which one walks away with your plastic-made machine. Yeah. Oh, no, the moose... If you look, not even a moose, right? Just a normal deer. If you hit a normal deer with your car, it will fuck your car up and it will possibly kill you. Like, we're talking like Bambi, chat. Like not a like bigger deer. We're talking a small deer. If you hit that with your car, you might die. Do not hit anything remotely big with your car. You will die. It's not worth the risk. Canadian here, do not fuck with moose. Exactly. Yeah, and then moose above everything are just extremely ornery and extremely, like, strong. Like, if you've ever seen the videos of, like, moose fending off entire packs of wolves and bears and shit like that, yeah, you know not to fuck with a moose. Moose can swim, beware. Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, I think Bob has told me before that the chief predator of moose is actually orcas. Killer whales are the actual, like, biggest predator of moose. Like, I want you to think about that, chat, because you don't just find a killer whale in a lake. So it's only in the ocean. And moose still go swimming in the ocean, and the orca eat them. As I said, I hit 2 deers with my car. I'm aware of how dangerous that could be. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you never want to do it. It'll fuck your car up at minimal. Deer, horse, cow, elk, buffalo, moose. Your vehicle will not win with that confrontation. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, chat, we have gators here in Florida, and gators are you know, flat fucks, right? Like, they're low to the ground. Don't hit one with your car. You ain't gonna have an axle after you do. Like, you will fuck your car up if you hit a gator. At least an adult one. If you were to hit, like, a smaller one, that would not be, like, you know, as catastrophic. But yeah, oh my God, no. There's a reason. So, like, if you look at Florida... We have, like, you know, like the peninsula, right? And then, like, we have, like, the panhandle up here. Down over here is, like, Naples, right? Like, so, like, over here's Tampa. This is Tampa. This is Naples. And then, like, down over here, this is, like, South Florida. This is Miami and stuff, right? So, usually, there's the part going down from, like, Tampa to Naples, and then there's the part going all the way over across, like, the northern part of the Everglades from Naples to South Florida. We like to call that Alligator Alley. Don't drive Alligator Alley at night. You will possibly hit a gator and it is not a good thing if you do. Florida apparently contains golems. I mean, we contain everything else at this point. Maybe the golems can fight the pythons. Former coworker was driving with his family, and out of nowhere, a male deer with fucking big antlers hit the car and almost hit him. Oh yeah. Because it's not even deer in the headlights. It's like deer just like coming out of like the side brush, just bounding out because it's not looking, and it's just like, if you guys have ever seen like a squirrel, you ever seen like you're driving down the road, right? It's like, this is the road in front of you, here's the line, and you're just like, you're looking at it, and you see like, oh hey, here's a cute little like squirrel, right? Like, here's his tail, here's his little like stuff, and he's like, oh, and he just goes, ah. Like, it's the same damn shit. It's because like he's looking at this and he wants to cross and he sees you coming and he just makes up his mind to go. Like it's like a split second instinct thing. He just has this panic fight or flight thing and he just goes. And that's how you hit a squirrel. And it's like, I hate that. I've unfortunately run over like 1 or 2 squirrels in my life, and I've just been like, God damn it. Because like I don't want to hit or kill animals. Again, I'm not advocating for any of this really, but so much as I'm memeing and joking. But like, yeah, like you'll see that happen. It's the same thing with a fucking deer. The deer's just like, ah, and it just like comes out of nowhere, and yeah, you'll hit it. It's dangerous, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it has a death wish. It does. Deers have killed more humans than dogs, wolves, sharks, hippos, big cats, guns, and more combined. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I believe it. I'm sure there are just regular deer strikes on the road, especially in like more northern and western states, right? Like once you start getting a little bit more into like the wilderness areas, yeah, I think it happens all the freaking time. Like here in Florida, we have plenty of deer, but they're not regular occurrences type deal. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm just absolutely gonna see one every 2 steps. No. So it's like, but yeah, you go out in some place like, again, probably like Texas. Yeah, you probably see it all the fucking time, I would imagine. Get some deer whistles for your cars. So is that like basically as you're driving, the wind flows into it and it just makes a noise? Motherfucking day, yeah. Fuck yeah. I can tell somebody's been playing Helldivers again. This is like the Helldivers unofficial theme. Do you get fined for hitting an alligator in Florida? No, not normally. Like that sort of thing's just gonna happen. Like, I mean, I guess if they can prove that you purposefully did, but if it's in the road, no, you're probably not going to get fined. It might be one thing if you're like, hey, look at that gator over there in that golf course, and you like drive off road and go run it over. Yeah, that might get you in trouble. In fact, that's actually a thing. We have people with golf carts that try to hit gators all the time. So I'm not going to say they're smart because that golf cart ain't killing that gator. And gators are surprisingly fast. I think they run at like about 30 miles an hour at peak speed. So like you ain't outrunning that fucker. Like if it gets close to you and you are in that golf cart, good luck. Gators gotta eat too. Yeah, I hope your golf cart doesn't have a governor on it, or I hope it's not like one of those like pansy just electric charged ones. I hope it's got an actual engine is all I'm gonna say. Suddenly miss Florida man story time again. Yeah, we can definitely find a day or two to do stuff like that. I also got to do another media share night with you guys because we haven't done one in a while. Imagine that gators in Florida are like deer up in Michigan. Would they fuck up your car? Oh, yes, absolutely. Like an adult gator, again, like I was saying before, you don't want to hit one of those. It'll just crunch your front end. Like, is the gator going to die from it? Yeah, I mean, probably. Is it worth the repair of your car? Fuck no. You're just pissing off the gator who's faster than your dumb old man machine. It will eat your tire. Oh, Honestly, if you were to hit a gator, it would probably like with an actual golf cart, it would probably like at first just be in shock as like what the heck happened. But the problem with this is, and I'm dead serious on this, so like a lot of golf courses are built near the water. If there's a gator on a golf course, odds are it's mama. And it's just sunning itself near its nest. And if it's near its nest, mama's angry. Mama does not like you being there. So I would not go anywhere near that. That's my best advice for anyone if you ever visit Florida. It will go, oh, lunch? Yes, it will be very angry and very hungry. Free baby gators? Good luck. Go for it, Darty. Try. Bet. Most alligators just run away. Yeah, like I said, it would probably just be in shock and run away if it's a male or if it's like not territorial at that moment. But if it is even remotely territorial, no, I would not. Move over nature, time to tee up. Yeah, that's like I said, the whole reason you see so many videos of gators on golf courses is because it's a thing. And because like the person's out there trying to tee off and there's a gator on the course and they're like, so what do? Like any smart, intelligent individual, instead of calling like animal control or just waiting it out, they pull out their cell phone and go, I'm gonna record this. And you know what? The closer, the better. Did you know there's a real food dish called alligator balls? Yes, I did. No, I've never had it. Like I said, I haven't ever eaten gator. I know there's places in Florida that serve it. It's not like unfindable. I just have not really been to any of those places. Or if I have, I've never felt the urge to actually get it. Like I said, if you were to ask me, could I get some? I would have to go look for it because I actually don't know of any place near me that does. People just say the usual, it tastes like chicken. Yeah, exactly. So. Deer explode when hit by 18-wheelers. No alligators near me, only the occasional caiman in the exotic pet store. You're not wrong. I'm sure most things do explode when hit by an 18-wheeler. I still can't imagine you want to hit them with your 18-wheeler. It tastes all right. Yeah, I was going to say, one of you guys has probably had it. I've never had it. Which I like to consider myself pretty adventurous when it comes to food, but there's some foods where I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. So, for instance, when I went to Scotland on one of my vacations, I had haggis. It was actually good. I actually liked it. I would eat it again if it was served to me. That being said, had I not had it without knowing what it was, I would have never eaten it because I know what haggis is. Haggis can be good. Yeah, like I said, I would be willing to eat more haggis if I had the opportunity at this point because I tasted it. It was actually pretty good. But I didn't know it was haggis until I had already eaten some of it. Had I known, I would have never fucking touched it. It's a sausage. I'd say it's less like a sausage and it's more like stuffing. Because it's like, that is kind of what haggis is. It's like primordial stuffing, if you will. But yeah, it was actually fine. If you guys have ever had sausage or stuffing or anything like that, it's very similar. So, is it pork? No. No, it is not. Meat stuffing? Yeah. Cad, you ever had Scrapple? No, I can't say I have. What's Scrapple? Do you ever notice there's a truck standing there that had hit a wild boar? Oh god, yeah, I don't want to think about hitting a boar. Hitting a boar would really mess you up, I would imagine, because boars are thick. Boars are like heavy. So yeah, I don't know. No, that would mess up your car. Scrapple D's nuts. God damn it. What's up, Sora? Haven't seen your face in a while? Yes. Here, Chatto. I will take off the headset yet again, let everybody get a good look at the haircut and like what I've done with it now. And then same thing on the other side here. Oh, I got caught in. Cad stare? Yes. Haggis is still better than blood pudding? Yeah, I've never eaten blood pudding and I don't want to. Wild hog problem of the Midwest is actually a good argument against gun control because most wild hogs laugh at small calibers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing with like a bear, right? Like, there is a point where it's like, hey, I need something significant. And again, with the ability to potentially fire more than one shot, right? Like, it's like, oh, you fired one shot with your musket. Congratulations, you missed. Or, congratulations, it lodged in the bear's shoulder and it's angry now. It's like, yeah, I would want something better. The date haircut, potentially, yeah. I'll be honest with you, I actually really like my haircut. So, for those of you guys that remember, I did this myself. I cut my hair. The only difference is like, and let me see if I can show it to you, but now, like, the backside is actually, like, trimmed up. It's not, like, a mullet like it was before. So, that was the issue that I had, is I had to go to the stylist to get the backside trimmed up, because I was just like, oh my god, no, I can't stand this after this long. I basically had a mohawk, so. Question on rare prisms. I have all Mysticos and bonus CEs. And I have 33 rare prisms. Would now be a good time to get the Pierce Invincibility CE. I've been on the fence about it for a while. You could, Sora. I'm not going to say that's a bad pickup. A lot of what I like to do, and this really depends on like your rate of getting like rare prisms and stuff, but I like to actually start buying the crystallized lures. They're 5 rare prisms per. They're a lot, but depending on how much you play the game, depending on how much you roll, you might actually have plenty in order to be able to get more of that. To me, and I still maintain this stance even after all these years, it has kind of been the case of we are just like doomed in that regard to just never actually get more crystallized lures than we can deal with. That is to say, while the game will give some out, you need a seemingly infinite number. You will never have enough crystallized lures in theory. Every single crystallized lure you get is another append or another normal skill that you will be able to max out. So it's always a good thing to be able to get more of them. That being said, it really depends on, like I said, your income for rare prisms. So if you don't feel like you're going to be getting rare prisms very often, very quickly, my advice, yeah, go ahead, grab your Pierce Invincibility C. But if you have other Pierce Invincibility Cs and you don't feel like you need it right away, right here, right now, go for it, right? Like feel free to start buying crystallized lures because you will probably begin to accumulate rare prisms over time. I've found that that's what happens with me a lot, even when I'm not rolling a lot. Like you guys know, I'm a whale. I like to acquire a lot of the units, but there's long periods in time where I go without rolling, and that's just due to the nature of the game. So even as a like free to play player, you would be almost in a similar scenario to me in that regard, where you might not roll very often, but you'll still find that you kind of keep getting rare prisms over time. And part of that's because like they start making things that you've already purchased free, so they'll refund rare prisms. Part of it'll be you'll get rare prisms from other things, like getting additional copies of welfare you already had. And part of it'll just be you'll just get them from campaigns. But it definitely, or again, I think now you get a rare prism every single time you level a welfare. So, did you hear they found an Antarctic cockroach? Why would you ruin my day with that? It's like the one thing that I always have going for me is that the cold kills insects and they don't like the cold. And now you're telling me that they've adapted to the cold. If it helps you choose, that C has great art, if I remember correctly. It does. I just know we have 150 coming up in 7 months. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a ton. Just will it be enough for you to do anything and everything in the game? No. So, yeah, if you're confident that, like, you're not going to have the means or the capability to really, like, for instance, use all those crystallized lures right away and stuff, go for it. Grab your Rare Prism C at that point. Yeah, can I get advice for 90++ node and trying to 3-turn? I can do it, but it takes me up to 17 to 20 turns. Wow, that's a lot. Team I've been using is Eliza, 9 Dragon, Caster Skadi, Ruler Skadi, Jacques Demolay, and Mash. So you're using 2 AoEs instead. Why do you not have like a single target archer or anything? Like, can you, like, do you have anybody that might work? Like, even like Robin Hood, I think chat was saying. Also, how do you, like, do you have anything other than quick supports for, like, meta supports? Like, do you have a Castoria? Do you have a Koyanskaya? Anything like that? Yeah, Billy would actually work as well. Assuming you're, like, I guess the better question is, are you wanting like what do you want out of the node? Do you want like maximum drops no matter how many turns it takes you? Do you just want a 3-turn, or do you, like, I don't know, have something in between? I have Castoria, Cunning, and a few single targets. Yeah, chat's basically giving you guys plenty of options there. So like Robin Hood, Kuro, Balbon Sith is what chat's saying. Billy the Kid. Urail. I don't know that Urail would be the best option, but only because she scales male, which is definitely an issue. I'm 9-turning with just Scotty and 2 ruler Scotties. Yeah, that can also work technically, right? Twins are gender unknown, so your rail wouldn't work. Yeah, that one would probably be an oof one. Can't remember the old time when I used a scoff comp with double Arash and Tomoe to do the Ember Saber node. Yep. Yeah, that sort of stuff definitely works. What's up, Via? With the name CAD face reveal? Yeah, probably, right? Like, I know it's been a while, and I told you guys, like, it would probably be a while. I'm gonna be VTuber, and Chad, I'm still gonna be VTuber, just in case anyone's under some delusion that you're constantly gonna see my face from now on. I'm still gonna be VTuber. That's still my plan. But yeah, I'm not opposed to showing my face. I never have been, right? I never will be in that regard. I just wanted to make the VTuber thing work. I wanted to make it stick, and I want you guys to adjust to that. So I knew that that's what it was going to take, was me repeatedly going and kind of doing that. But yeah, it's like I don't mind every now and then like showing my face and stuff. MHXA is really good for the node given her niche. Yeah, the anti-good niche should definitely work. I like how this is just pre-programmed like roll spaces here. What is this? Well, back to the grind. I literally, you guys can see I have just a one-size-fits-all loadout that I just keep taking into each one of these. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. One is Castoria, Squirtle, Morgan, Oberon. Nice. Yeah, it's like I said, I can do a lot of comps. The comp that I'm using now, I'm using because it's probably the best like bonding situation that I can currently run. without having to like fish for supports for a long time. Because one of the things that like, you know, I could fish for a support on stream and it would not be that big of an issue because all of y'all are logging in at the same times and playing as well. But like when it's like 3 a.m. and I want to go to bed, I don't want to be fishing for a support, right? Like I want to just have the right support at that point. Go ahead and pop that, and pop that. May not be the best solution at the moment, but we'll try. Okay, I can see it. I'll pull out Babylon Sith. Yeah, go for it. Is there a reason for that? For what? Oberon, MHXA, any AoE Berserker? I wouldn't say any AoE Berserker. You definitely want something that has a lot of like high-end NP level damage there. How do we know this isn't a very realistic VTubering model or AI? Because I didn't delete any of my old content. I've just been overpowering the node with Arjuna Altar, but to be fair, mine is nuts. Yeah, exactly. Like I've been using my NP5 Morgan, right? And she works, but I'm trying to like make it work like without even stuff like her first skill. So that's me pushing the envelope there. What's your opinion on the NA event's final boss in story? The NA event's final boss. Oh, the yeah, okay. Well, like, what do you mean? What's my opinion on it? Like, did I like him? Did I like or like, did I feel like it was difficult? Boss the goop, yeah. I did find it funny that like it basically got narratively killed, which was really like a change of pace. It was nice. Who is this old man in screen? Where's the usual guy? You know, I killed him for now. BG Kuro is flexing some muscles. Yeah, if you guys are using Black Grail, there are way more comps that are possible. Like, where this node gets difficult is if you're trying to, like, 6-slot and 3-turn. If you're trying to do both those things, this node's kind of rough. If you're trying to, like, just 6-slot and you don't care about 3-turning, you're fine. If you're trying to just 3-turn, you're also probably fine. But if you're trying to do both, it's not got a lot of easy options. Thankfully, you kind of can do at least like the middle wave. To me, the middle wave is arguably the biggest problem because it's kind of the more restrictive one. It's like you got like Eliza that can work, or again, a really good Berserker. Outside of that, it's not going to be the easiest. Like you might be able to get away with like Oberon as well if you had a robust one. Nice having an anti-climax for once. Yep. I saw people saying the story was like underwhelming. I liked the story. I thought it was good. I actually really liked it for a change of pace. It was not the normal like a bad guy appears, beat up the bad guy, you win. It was like, hey, we're not sure who's good and bad. Hey, maybe we don't have like the exact normal conflict resolution formula that we always have. So I like them doing something different. Excited for the next event, rolling my 5th Morgan. Congratulations. It's fine, kind of jank. Yeah, like I think the only thing that I kind of like eye rolled at was like both like Huyan and Eliza just like being such crybabies. But besides that, I'm like, I get it. Like, I understand there's a lot of history there. Her constant mood flips were hilarious. Yeah, she's basically like bipolar almost. What do you think of the new JP shop, amount of rewards, and the return of skill gems to the shop? I actually haven't looked, so let me take a quick moment and actually look, because I think it was Avalon was telling me that they've like, you know, doubled the stuff that's in here. So We have our costume. We have our 4 copies of the damage CE. Looks like there's 4 crystallized lores just in the shop. That's definitely nice. Basically 4 golden foes, two of each, right? Your leaves, command code removers, foes. Again, the normal embers and stuff. Actually, okay, no, hold on. We got 200 embers here instead of 100. So that's at least a double up. I was going to say, actually, prior to like this, realistically, just like the crystallized lures were really the only thing that I felt like there was any difference. But yeah, now you're actually... Oh, no, okay, yeah, you got 40 foes here, too. I didn't catch that. So 40 foes. And actually, I think... This depends. Some events we get 100 here. Some events we only get 50. And I'd say the majority of the time it's only 50. So that definitely seems like a double up. 200 here is kind of meh, but I guess it's more mana prisms if you need it, right? 20 of each of these, 40 of these. I definitely like that because that's a newer mat. So that's really strong. Yeah, it's... Look, I'm gonna be real with y'all for a second here. Is it generous of the devs to do this? Yes. And I'm gonna say, to me, they kind of have needed to do this. Especially, and here's the one that I'll really point out. Here. They've really needed to do this. I've been pointing this out to you guys for a while. Chat, for 2 years, I have been telling you guys I'm almost done foeing my units on JP. For 2 years. Why have I not been done? Because you're just not getting given enough foes. You literally get 1 set a month in the shop, in the like monthly reset shop in the Da Vinci shop, and then you get 1 from an event. And they've started to run events far less than they did in the past, because we're not getting reruns really anymore. We're not getting like a good cadence of events. It used to be you got at least an event a month. We have kind of been on pace these past couple of years here of being like, yeah, you're only going to get like 10 events in a year, which is not even 1 a month. So you might be thinking like, oh, well, okay, that's not that much slower. That's not that much bad. I was like, well, to be fair, prior to that point, the lowest number of events we ever ran in a year was 15. So that's cutting it by 5. It's cutting it down to 2/3 of what the normal was. In that time, though, they have not slowed the amount of servants that they have released into the game, either by virtue of welfares, 3 stars and lower, or again, gacha units. So you're still getting units at roughly the same pace. You're just getting way less foes. It gets difficult to actually, get ahead, to actually progress, you're just kind of keeping pace. You're not making any progress. So that's where, like, yeah, they definitely need to do stuff like this. I'm okay with it. However, on the flip side, I don't think they needed to do it with Ascension mats. Here's why. It's going to sound really bad here, but the devs are being super generous here. And I'm going to give you guys an example of this. Look at this. I've already farmed 51 of this new mat. And this is literally just from me using my Storm Pod nodes. That's it. That's all I've done. And I've already used some of these, by the way. I'm about to get given 40 more. Do I need to farm these? No. No, I don't. Like, I'm just gonna, again, keep subsisting with, like, storm pods. Like, why do I need to do these? Some people can't farm the storm pod nodes. You're right. However, if this were 20 instead of 40, they'd still get some. And conversely, you have pure prisms. And pure prisms where you should have a pure prism ticket now as well. So they're really killing your actual need to farm in this game. And here's why I'm saying this, chat. Is it good for us? Yeah, it's great. We're the player. We don't have to do more. Is it good for the devs? Is it good for player retention and continuing to play the game? No. No, it's not. They're making it too easy on us now. Like, as a player, you're happy. You're getting everything you want. Sometimes it's not good for the players to get what they want. Like, can I complain? Because, like, this is going to free up some of my time. Like, yeah, that's nice. But I'll be honest with you guys. I don't mind farming in this game. I think farming's fine. I see people complain about this all the time, but I'm going to tell you right now, the people that complain about farming in FGO are usually the people that are busy playing other gacha games. I'm not going to say people don't have real life circumstances and stuff where they can't play as much. That is a thing. But usually the people that are actually complaining are the people that are like, I don't want to have to do this because I want to go play another game. Like that's really all it is. I'll be real with y'all. I feel that. But here's where I feel that. I don't feel that from farming. Farming doesn't take that long for me. I just log in, do my AP, and log back out. Where I get an exorbitant amount of time wasted for no real fucking reason. Let me show you. Right there. Fuck this. Fuck this. This is stupid. They need to fix this. This is bad. This is dumb. This is very poorly implemented still to this day. And we have been dealing with it for 9 years. Fix this shit. It's terrible. Nobody should have to spend hours rolling out their FP so that they can, I don't know, get more copies of a welfare or do their grail casting. Like, this is just stupid. Make this easier. Streamline this. Make it fun and rewarding rather than tedious and annoying. And I think everyone will appreciate it. Here's why I'm saying this. This could be done a whole lot better. And to me, forcing your players to do a tedious task that is boring, repetitive, and in no way, shape, or form actually entertaining after a point. Like, if you're a new player, sure, it might be entertaining for you. But if you're someone that's been playing the game even like a month, this ceases to really be any actual entertainment. So, forcing your players to do that does not help you as a game. It pisses your player base off. It makes them annoyed at you. They feel like their time is being wasted for no reason. It's not a good thing, right? As opposed to farming? Yeah, if you're farming, at least you know that you're working towards something and you're making progress. This is why you see people that, like, they ask for, hey, can we get, like, drop rate increases and stuff? It's not that they don't want to farm. It's just that they feel like at certain points the farming isn't rewarding and that it has bad RNG. And I think that's a sound argument, and it's something that needs to be looked into at certain, like nodes and certain material types. But overall, farming in and of itself isn't bad. You farm in every game you play, right? It's that shit. It's the FP that's beyond the pale. That's just time wasting for time wasting's sake, as opposed to, hey, you're actually playing our game. To me, rolling FP is not playing the game. It's tedium that you're doing in menus. And you guys have heard me talk about this with other gacha games before. I'm a big proponent of playing a gacha game should be playing the game, not being a management simulator where you're stuck in menus all the time. Now, there is that style of game. Some people really like it. But most gacha games should not be that. And yet it does feel like at times a lot of gacha games just are that. So FGO needs to do whatever it can to cut down on the tedium of being a menu management simulator and instead make you play the game more. That's the whole reason why we don't have NP skip or like basically the ability to like auto a node, right? They want you to play the game. And I back them on that. I think that is a good attitude to have, and it does help increase that player retention. But on the flip side, cut us a break wherever you can then, right? And they've done that before in the past. Like, that's why if you guys note, whenever you do a node, right, like you have like battle 1, battle 2, and battle 3 in a node, and then you have like the in-between moments. And you can skip these. You can skip the in-between moments. Because they don't want you to skip the NPs. They don't want you to skip the actual animations and things that make the game iconic and look cool and enjoyable. They want to skip the in-between moments that are bad and dumb and boring. And they're right. So skip the FP moment that is bad and dumb and boring. Give us that. Give us the ability to roll that faster. Gotta love the bounties? Yeah. Have you got MP5 Hakuno? I have not. Let me double check because I don't know. I think I'm at MP2, but I may be at MP3. I don't remember how many I've gotten. Because like I said, I rolled before we had the actual raid up. And like I said, work's been kind of crap this week, so I haven't been doing any of this on the side. But yeah, like basically, wait, hold on. Basically, I did get at least a copy. Yeah, okay. So I just got the one extra from doing that. And the rate was pretty piss poor because, like I said, I rolled out from basically nothing all the way to full on my Grail casting, and I only got one copy. Yeah, the part I like most about the shop is the more monuments and also the skill gems shop. Yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked. Let's continue there. So, but again, yeah, I'm not going to say they can't give us stuff. It's just them giving us stuff is like, man, I'm really surprised. It's like on one side, they want us to keep playing their game. And on the other side, you're giving us every reason that we don't have to. It's our, 3 runs of 40 AP and a cloud of dust and we're gone. Right. Like, so I'm really surprised they're not incentivizing people to do free quests more. And it's kind of wild to me that they're not, because we used to, chat, you OGs remember, right? Like, we used to have to farm free quests all the time. Chat, on JP, I can't tell you the last time I farmed a free quest. Like, actually. Like, yeah, I might do my 3 runs to complete the node and get the reward from it, but like, when was the last time I actually sat there and farmed a free quest that was not a storm pod node? I don't know. It's been years. I actually think it's been like about 2 years. So, and part of that's because I'm ahead, but the other part of that is like the more resources you give out, the more people are going to get ahead, right? Like the less people are going to have to actually farm. So it is what it is. Okay, so we got monuments. We got 40 each. That's definitely nice. 40 each of the silvers and 20 each of, oh wait, hold on. So 20 of the golds, 30 of the reds, and 40 of the blues. All right, chat. Now, take this from me, somebody that's been playing JP for a long time, but reasonably from a free-to-play standpoint for a good chunk of that. I'm not lacking. I'm not lacking on skill gems. Like, yeah, you might buy some of these if you're like really tight. I'm gonna tell you which ones to buy right now. Just that. Don't buy any others. Just that. If you're gonna buy any, just that. The only one. Why? One, golds are arguably the hardest to get in good quantity. They're somewhat rare. You do get them occasionally from high-level content, so it is a thing. But 2, notice this, chat. Look, there are 3 gold types here. I've got Lancer, Caster, and Assassin. I have about 1,800 Lancer ones, and I have over 1,800 Assassin ones. How many Caster ones do I have? Not even 1,300. Why is there such a disparity there? Why is this one so much lower than the other 2? The one I use the most. Usually your casters have the greatest burden, and there's a reason for this. You have single target and AoE units for every class. However, the caster class, especially, is the unit that has the most of the the class that has the most of the third type, which is support. Support units usually are the ones that you're sitting there maxing out their skills. And caster has an inordinate amount of support units. Other classes do have the occasional support unit. Caster has support units. It is the support class for a good chunk of the roster, right? So most other classes have single target and AoE. Only caster really has that triple dip. And that's why you end up needing just so many more of these. So if you're low on any of these, caster's the one that I would buy. It's the one that you'll probably actually use. Otherwise, you could probably subsist and float through for a while with all the other ones. And then as you get to lottos, you'll keep stockpiling them. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. But yeah, I would not buy any of the blues either. Blues, easy to get. Easy to get from lotto boxes. And then again, yeah, statues and monuments. Look at that. I got like 400 at minimum of each of these golds, and I've got like 200 of the silvers. So you can bet your bottom dollar what I'll be spending that on. But again, it's going to require me to be efficient in the event. I didn't roll Khadroth drop. I don't have any CEs as a result. So we'll see. I'll try not to waste my AP, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to get this whole shot. And nor do I think you really should try to go after this whole shot. There should be another 3-week event, though. Wait, so I don't have any missions I have to do, and that is the story cap, it looks like. So which is the most recent story node? That's 80. Did I unlock a new one? Okay, here we go. Yeah, so it looks like that's the one I need to do still. Well, I need to do both, but... And almost all the extra need caster? Yeah, that too. I mean, so here's the thing, right? You say almost all extras. This is actually not the case, because how this works is basically you have a divisor. You have alter egos, moon cancers, and... What's the other one, chat? Rulers? Rulers should all be kind of pooling from the same, I think. And they're the ones that use predominantly skill gems. And then you have basically your foreigners, avengers, and pretenders are going to be ones that barely use any because they're using primarily ascension mats. These are skill gems. These are ascension mats. These boys won't use too many. Basically, they'll only use it... actually, no, they won't use it at all, I don't think. And then the others will really only use Ascension materials for, like, rank 8 and rank 9 of the skills. Ruler pulls from every class, yep. I feel like Ganesh is a good stand-in for Bride. I know a lot of her abilities are targetable, and she has anti-lawful versus anti-heaven. No, I don't think she's a good stand-in for Bride. Like, she can still do some of that. Like, she can provide some support, but like, God, Bride's just really strong for what she does. Part of it's because she's flexible, so she can put stuff either on herself or on someone else. But the other part of it is because, like, yeah, she's got just 30% charge with 45% NP gain. That's just strong, right? And there was a period in time where she didn't have the 30% charge and she only had the 45% NP gain. And then Paracelsus came out, and Paracelsus had arts up and had 50% NP gain. And people were like, oh, Paracelsus is better, which wasn't true. They're idiots. But basically, they ended up coming in and they ended up dropping that 30% charge on top of that skill. And yeah, God, now it's just disgustingly good. I love it. On top of that, she has 40% attack up for 3 turns, which is just strong. One of the stronger attack buffs in the entire game. And then basically on top of that, she now has a heal that has defense that also has, what is it, 50 or is it 30? I think it's 30% Sky Niche. 30% anti-sky. So it's really good. All of her skills are just amazing. She acts as a pseudo Castoria replacement in some degrees. Charge plus MP gain to me. Yeah, it's really, really nice, especially if you get it out turn 1. So like close, but to me, Ganesh is way more of a like defensive unit and way more tiered towards that. She kind of can provide some NP gain and stuff in the kit, but yeah, I wouldn't really say she's a good adequate replacement. I'd go so far as to say if you're looking for a better replacement, you're looking at something like Paracelsus. Paracelsus, Asclepius, especially now Asclepius after the buff that he got. Shufu. Shufu's the obvious one. Yeah. That you want to be hit. Yeah, she's Ganesha is way more of a tank. That's really what she's after. That's really what she's trying to do. Did I get a command code in all of this? Somehow. Must have been an event reward. Yeah, like I said, I'm still surprised by the ass clap buff. I can't believe that they gave him the arts up. That was like, all right, you go for that. I did not think that they were going to, that they were going to do that. Actually, I need to check what this node even gives. So this should be bronze because it's bronze and silver, and usually when it's bronze and silver, that means it's bronze. When it's silver and gold, that means it's silver, and when it's gold and bronze, that means it's gold. That's just how they always kind of do the nodes. And if it's all three, it's just an all three node. So this is an actual bronze node, ironically enough, so we will refresh until we see a bronze MLB. Just don't have Bride. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I got you. And here's another one you guys can see because this is the comp that I'm currently doing, right? There we go. Strom's got me. So like you guys can look, I'm taking a support Castoria. I have Musashi as my damage dealer with a 50% C. Okay. I am using Shufu and Da Vinci. Okay. So Da Vinci Ruler here is basically another option for you, and she's a welfare that you can get. She's got a targetable 20% charge with NP gain on it. She has a skill that grants a rank of overcharge, if I remember correctly, and NP damage up. And she has a targetable 3-turn triple steroid. So it gives arts, buster, and quit for 3 turns to a target. So it's really, really nice. She works as a hey, she's not the best, but a decent backup. And she's also a single target ruler in her own right. So if you really needed her to, she can take something out. You want MLB bronze on Castoria? Yes, please, if you can. At least for now. Like I haven't been paying too much attention to the nodes because again I don't have any Cs, so it's one of those deals where I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, I should probably try to actually optimize this so I get the most drops out of this shop. Yeah, so there you go. You can see. Now, part of this is, too, I do have the maxed out mana loading on my Musashi. Again, welcome to Crystallized Lores. Having that's really nice. So having the coins to get it unlocked and then actually maxing it out is really good because I have a 50% C. And then because of this, I now have basically 70% charge. So because of the 70% charge, I can just get to use Shufu's 30% and I'm good. Which then means I get to rotate right here. I don't even need anything other than the first skill on Da Vinci at the moment. And this is kind of overkill is why. Like this whole composition has way too much like refund in it because it's just I'm facing 3 enemy waves. So. I started JP after the DVR rerun. I hope she comes to the Evacuation shop soon. She should. She should. Which actually... No, we got her. Yeah, I was gonna say we got her rerun event. We didn't. I was like, wait, no, she was just here recently, but that's what it was. It was the rerun event. Yeah, so I was like, oh. I I'm not doing the 6 C's thing since I value getting bond over mats quickly. Getting bond over mats quickly. The ideal comp finds all of that, right? Like, so for instance, I'm doing a 6 slot that 3 turns with all units that I can bond. It is possible. It just normally requires you to have either a robust unit or to actually have like people that can, you know, fill in and supplement. So that's kind of the issue, is just you usually need to have a lot of options in order to actually be able to put stuff like that together. The less options you have, the more restrictive you get. You may have to let something go between either 3 turning, being efficient with craft essences, or being efficient with bond. About Morgan and Oberon. See, let me put it to you this way. A good opportunity to bond Oberon, you don't need that. You never need a good opportunity to bond Oberon. It's like saying you need a good opportunity to bond Castoria. You're going to use them so often, you don't need it. It'll happen naturally. That's why I'm actually not using Oberon on my NA comp. I'm trying not to bond him. I'm instead bonding my Proto Merlin because there's not as many situations where I can get away with my Proto Merlin. So I'm trying to be more efficient with my selection there than just, oh, let me throw in Oberon who's not maxed out yet. He's not maxed out yet, but he gonna be. So I'm trying to slow walk him if possible. Oberon went to bond 15 in my JP count in less than a year since I got him. Exactly. That's why, like, so when people talk to me about bond efficiency, most of the time I laugh at them because they're just fast tracking units that they don't need to fast track. True bond efficiency is actually spreading bond around evenly on your units, trying not to max them out, trying to instead slow down that process and make it more of a, instead of a straight line, you're making it more of a windy, curvy road. You're basically, hey, I'm going to take you here, but not here. And instead of like person A will take Oberon in nodes 1, 2, and 3. Person B will take Oberon in nodes 1 and 3. And person C will take Oberon in node 3. Everybody is getting Oberon to bond 15. Person C gets the most bang for their buck. And the reason why is because person C gets to use him efficiently longer. They get more opportunities. Why? Because they weren't lazy with the first 2 nodes. They found other solutions that also worked. Whereas person A just threw Oberon in every comp. Person B was like, I really don't want to deal with this in this comp, in comp 2. And at least found one opportunity to remove him from the composition. Person C has been efficient. Or at least tried to be. I guess there's person D who didn't use Oberon at all. But yeah, it's then you're not getting any bonds, so you're not efficient at that point. You're just not using the unit. But the way I choose to think about it is basically every unit has like X number of runs. You get to use those. So where do you want to use those X runs? Do you want to use them in nodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you know, so on? Or do you want to use them only in like nodes 1 and 4? Like where that unit is super effective versus like, hey, they were effective in these other ones, but there was another solution. You didn't have to use that. And here's why. Here's the reason that you think about this way, chat. Because in these nodes where you could have had another solution, you would have been efficient bonding that other solution. You would have been using that instead. So that's spreading it evenly and raising everything over time rather than focusing one thing. And this is why you'll see people, they'll be like, oh, bro, I got like 20 bond 15s. And you're like, okay. And then like the rest of their account, bond 5, bond 6. They never go beyond this. Chad, I have so many units that are like bond 8 and 9. Like, because I'm getting more usage out of them. They will not hit that max bond and become inefficient for me to use with. Because that's how my JP is. My JP has a Bond 15 Castoria. Because why? I kind of got lazy, and she was the best solution for a lot of those compositions. And I just said, fuck it. I'm not dealing with this on JP. Is what it is. But my NA is really efficient. My Castoria is not Bond 15 on NA. Whereas at this time on JP, my Castoria was already Bond 15. So my NA has already been more efficient than my JP. That's why I try to avoid my Castoria as much as possible. Yeah, like you can see, I'm using a support Castoria in this comp. I'm not using my own. I'm using other like secondary and tertiary supports instead. Trying to max bond efficiency for getting coins for Melu. Yeah, I think like the coin argument is the strongest argument for forcing and focusing one unit. And that's the only one. Because I do see people that go like, and look, let me say this, chat. I do see people that go, hey, this is my favorite unit. I don't even need coins. I'm just going to rush them to Bond 15 as fast as possible. I disagree with that approach. I think it's kind of dumb, but I'm never going to like hold that against anybody. Like if someone wants to do that and they think that that's like something that fulfills them and increases their enjoyment in the game, more power to them, right? And there's no issue with that. It's just for me, I look at that and I'm like, that's not the flex that you think it is, at least not to someone like me. Someone like me, I look at that and I was like, that was kind of a waste. Like, chat. Want to go look at my Lartoria? Want to see what bond level she is? Doesn't mean I haven't used her. I've used her a shit ton. But I didn't backline her. I used her. I used her for everything. I'll still use them. Yeah, and that's what a lot of people say is they'll go like, oh, well, they're my favorite. I'll still use them. That's fine. But keep in mind, you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want bond efficiency, but you'll still use your favorite unit when they are, you know, maxed out. These two things cannot be the same. Because this is Bond 15, you're not efficient here. So if you're wanting to be Bond efficient, you're not Bond 15 using units. Now, will I still use a favorite of mine at Bond 15? Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm a pragmatist. I'll still use them. I'm not going to go, oh, I can't use them. They've hit Bond 15. They're going in the second archive. I'm just going to go like, fuck it. If I want to use them, I want to use them. I know in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, I'm not being bond efficient. I'm choosing to make that sacrifice, that choice, right? And that's where I say like, there's a difference to me between like being bond efficient and being like, what's the proper term I want to use here? Here you go. The difference between being bond efficient and being bond obsessed. Don't have BO, chat. It stinks. Because I've seen people over the years too that have like for instance, they are so obsessed with Bond, they're in an event like this. What do? They don't use CEs for the event. They only use Bond Cs. They won't 3-turn anything. They will only use Bond CEs only on the units they want to bond, even if the comp is not a synergistic comp. they will take however many fucking turns it is just to squeeze out 5 more bond points out of that run. And I'm like, that's not worth it. That's not worth it. That's like, there's a difference between not caring about bond at all and caring so much that like you've gone full circle. You're as bad as the person that doesn't care at all. You now are like a psychopath with it, right? So it's like, just be efficient, be somewhere in that middle. Try your best to be efficient with it, but it's not the end of the world, right? If you're not perfectly efficient, who cares? Like no one's gonna be like, oh, you used the bond 15 unit. How dare you? I'm gonna report you. like it's just, oh well, right? You're less efficient. You lost a little bit there, but you know what? You enjoyed it. you enjoyed using that unit. Be a psychopath? No, don't be a psychopath. Okay, take this from the Florida man. I have seen psychosis. Don't do that. Yeah, cease. No one would know anyways unless you advertise it or you're a streamer content creator. You say that? So people that have BO, people that are bond obsessed, can't not tell you. They can't not tell you. So like, they're going to be the ones that are going to advertise it. It won't be the guy that accidentally used the bond 15. It's going to be the guy that's like, well, actually, I've never wasted an entire bond point in all of my life. And I just got done running another node. And I also didn't waste a bond point there. I'm perfect. In every way. Yeah, no. Don't be the BO guy. I'm a psychopath. I 120 my Saber Lily. That may be an upcoming project for me. How many coins do I have for at this point on JP? I started saving them because I'm beginning to need some grailing projects on JP. I can't check it this way. I was gonna say, I already have my grail casting done for the month, so that's not doable. Okay, so I have 210. You can see I haven't unlocked or other appends. I haven't, for the majority of my units, I have not dealt with like bond 4 or 5 yet, because again, they have obviously like your 4 stars and 5 stars. That's not going to be a thing anyways. But at least with like the 3 stars and lower, like they haven't given us the coins that they said that they're going to give us. So I'm kind of waiting on them to do that, and then I'll evaluate 4 and 5th appends on them. I typically use random units that are close to bond up for normal and event farming. I actually find it a bit more fun to have those random teams, even if they don't synergize. I don't know. Okay, so chat, Avalon is a psychopath. Look, I think it's fine, right? Like, you play the game in whatever way gives you enjoyment. That's the truth of the matter. There is no correct way to play FGO. There is an objectively correct way. That's the way I try to teach you guys. But if you guys deviate from that in any way, it's fine. Who cares? Like, you do what you want to do. You have fun with this game. Playing this game, playing any gacha game, or any game in general, is about having fun. If you're not having fun, why the fuck are you playing this game? Why the fuck are you playing any game? It's always about having fun. So, Some people find fun in min-maxing. Some people find fun in farming. Some people find fun in being efficient. Some people find fun in challenge. Some people find fun in, I don't know, floating, like being like the Facebook whale and stuff like that. So like, it is what it is. But ultimately, you need to decide for yourself what you find fun in this game and do that. No, shun the non-believers? Yeah. Bond is only for extra lotto Saint courts and 120 prereqs for me. Yeah, I like, for me, to me, Bond is basically Saint courts and coins. And if I don't need the coins, I don't care, right? Like, if I don't need the coins, if they're gone, then Bond just equals Saint courts. And so then at that point, I go, well, then who does it matter who I bond? Right? Like no matter who I'm bonding, I'm going to get courts in some way, shape, or form. And this is why, like, you'll see people that'll be obsessed with like Bond 11 onward, because they'll be like, oh, but it gives 30 courts. I'm like, it gives 30 courts, but it's also 10 times what you would need to do for like bonding at lesser levels. So it evens out. It's the same return on investment. So like, yeah, you see people obsessed with that. In fact, the argument here is actually this is worse because you have to have a bond grail, which may or may not cost you a rare prism. So that's not ideal. You need to be saving your bond grails for units that you actually like, especially for like coin purposes, you need to be taking higher. So if anything, you need to try and get the most that you can out of bonds, 5 through 10, as opposed to bonds 11 through 15. You need to try and get more out of more of your roster if you're just trying to be efficient and get courts. I'd rather not waste bond if possible. Yeah, I'm the same way, right? Like, I don't think you should not want to waste bond, but if you do, you do, right? I got like one last bond grail for coins I need to do, and then I plan on focusing on grabbing some bond Cs for that bond C thing Mr. 2 was mentioning. Right, and that's another good point. We still don't know why, but Mr. 2 has told us that we need, that we will want to get bond CEs and that we should try to unlock as many as possible. So chat, this means trying to get as many as possible units to bond 10. This is already a thing. A lot of people tried to do like bond 6 because of the coin situation. A NP1 SSR at bond 6 is a SSR that has an append unlocked. So a lot of people just went through their entire roster and said, I'm going to hit bond 6 with all my units. And that's fine. So now it's, hey, I need to go through my roster and hit bond 10 with all my units. You're not going to do this. This is unfeasible for the vast majority of players. But trying to get more of your units to bond 10, especially if they're already close, yeah, go for it, right? Good thing. Have yourself a goal. Oh, they're doing bond C check marks for more Saint Courts? I don't think it's that. I suspect they're either going to revamp bond CEs, or, and this is probably the more likely one, that we are probably going to have some sort of bond gimmick. Gimmick spelled with 2 M's? I think it is. Gonna have some sort of bond gimmick. I think it's 1 M. At the end of like 2.5. At the end of and I'm calling it 2.5. It's not really what it is. Basically at the end of part 2. At the end of Ordeal Call. You are very likely to have some sort of bond gimmick where it's like more damage or something like that. Okay? And who knows? Maybe what they do is like in that set of circumstance, they make it so it's like, oh, if you have the bond CE, it now actually like passively combines in for this gimmick or something. They already did that with Solomon. Yeah, they did. Not gonna stop them from touting it again, right? You spelled it right? Did I spell it right? Good. I feel better about that then. Like Final Singularity. Yeah. And to be fair, we do know that they're doing something with Bond Seas because, again, he said, hey, get them. But also, he responded to that in response to a question about Bond CEs. So, like, they're going to do something with it. I just think that, like, maybe what they do with Bond Seas is, like, something smaller or something like that. And instead, he's like, low-key using this to kill two birds with one stone. Where he's saying, like, hey, work on your Bond Seas because we're going to make a change to them. But, like, also do it because we want you to get more people to Bond 10, right? Like, so that might be a thing. Like, oh, I gotcha. Chat, you're going to hate this. I'm sorry. I just big brained this. Here's your Bond CE change. You ready? Every Bond CE in the game will now be voiced. That's all it'll be. Like that, and that'd be cool. That'd be fine. But like when people are hoping for an actual change to the craft essences, that would be like, right? Like you would be sitting there and you'd just be like, God damn it. We were hoping for something, right? Like Bond Seas to 5-star with 5-star stat line and a customizable effect similar to command codes. Yeah, like I said, I think there's a lot of things they could do with Bond Seas. I just I get that sneaking suspicion they're gonna give us some like crap like that where it's like, see, aren't you excited? And we'll be like, yeah, but this wasn't what we were expecting type of excitement. 3k HP on Thomas Bond C. Yeah. I mean, I'd not hate it, but I'd like it a bit more out of it too. Yeah, exactly. It's like people would have been expecting more than that, right? Bond Cs now give bonus Bond experience for the unit of equipment. Bond your unit faster. Yeah, I hope they do something, but experience has kind of shown me at this point. It's like be a little bit of a skeptic with them because like I think part of the problem that we as a community have is we all go like, oh, they're gonna make a change to Bond Seas, woo, and we like our gears start turning. We're like thinking of the best possible scenarios, and what we get is not that. We get like not necessarily the worst, but like, holy shit, my expectations were low, and you still disappointed. So like that's kind of been the issue that we've had with a couple of the changes over the years. So I'm hoping that they do better and it's not something like that. Like I said, I still think it'd be cool if they did actually go back in and gave you a voice line for every Bond seat, because what that would mean, that would basically mean that you would have like a Bond voice line then at that point for every Bond 10. Like every time you Bond 10 to unit, hey, you get a special like line. Feels more customized, right? So, and I think that would actually be a good thing. But yeah, it's like, I think people just want the C to actually be like a usable thing for most units rather than like throw it in the second archive or like never, like it's sitting there, but you rarely ever use it. The hype problem. Yep. We get unrealistic expectations. Bond 10 voice lines were a thing for arcade, so why not mobile? Right. And if you guys remember, like that's kind of been the thing that they've been doing on the side over the years, is they've been doing like, hey, here you go. Here's whatchamacallit, right? Like here's a like new Valentine CE or Chaldea Boys CE or like all the C's from this campaign are voiced. So it's something that they've been doing over time now. I can see them expanding that as they like, because probably what they do is as they go like, okay, we got CBC, we got Valentine's, and we basically end up having like, a unique campaign or something like that. And we bring the VAs in to record for that. And in the process, we also make them record lines for like other things, like you know, again, any new characters that they're going to be voicing, any new you know, other side projects that they have, and then, you know, maybe even something like the Bond lines for or not the Bond lines, but the Bond CE like reading and stuff. So that could be a potential thing. I'm still glad I Bond farmed Georgios to 10. Oh, he's a really good one. There's a couple that it's good to fast track him to 10. Fast tracking to 10 is not a bad thing. Fast tracking beyond 10 is like not really that big of a deal. If they have the anti-Cs have voice line at the venues, but in game they're not available, yeah. We'll wait and see. What would blow me out of the water for an update is live 3D, but I doubt that never happened. Oh, I've said this before. I think, like, you know, we were talking about the concept of like FGO needs a big win, right? It needs something to like get eyes on FGO again. That would be something that would do it, right? When FGO got the pity system, it was the same thing. There was a lot of attention all of a sudden on FGO, like, oh my god, FGO finally has pity after all these years. FGO actually got pity. Wow, right? Like, same thing if you were to do something like Live 2D or something like that, and you actually put it in the game, and all of a sudden you start seeing like the sprites jiggle around and like move around and stuff. Yeah, that's gonna turn some heads, because if there's nothing else, I think everybody would tell you that FGO has some great character designs. That's always been one of its strengths. So they've done Live 2D and stories to the technologies in the game. It doesn't really work like that, right? Because a lot of the quote-unquote live 2D is basically either them like flipping between frames of pre-rendered stuff, or it's them with a like pre-rendered cutscene. So like, aka they're playing a movie, which is technically all live 2D is. They have that capability, if that's what you're meaning. It's just like, no, there's not like, hey, we have built-in live 2D architecture in the game right now. It just doesn't work that actual way. But yeah, it's something where, could they do it? Yes, they absolutely could. Will they? Probably not. And part of the reason, and I shit you not on this, part of the reason they probably wouldn't, game's already pretty big in terms of file size. Bloating the actual file size to start including like live 2D of a bunch of stuff, gonna just absolutely balloon. So we'll see. I would love it if they did. I like, screw file size. I can get rid of other shit on my phone, right? Like, but yeah, that's definitely something that I think they are worried about and concerned about long term. It's not special. It's something they should have in the game for years. Right. That's why it's special. It's special to us, right? Like, and it would make waves. It would make news where people would be like, oh, FGO gets its first ever live 2D skin. Or, oh, FGO is adding live 2D to these characters in game. Like, that would generate some headlines, and then people would see that and they'd be like, oh, and they'd click on it and they'd look at it and they'd be like, oh, wow, that looks good. I want to fuck that character. And then they would like literally like open up their game and re-download it, right? Like, listen, you know, I don't know how people think, especially the general like gotcha gamer, but I do assume that having good publicity, especially on a game that has had so much negative publicity, can only be a good thing. It can only help. So the amount of art assets they need to go back and edit seems pretty hefty for investment as well. Oh, it definitely wouldn't be like they flip a switch and everybody has live 2D. It would be like, it would be a rollout of like a couple of things at a time. Like maybe like 1 to 3 units at a time would get something, right? So you would not see like all of a sudden all 400 units in the roster end up with live 2D. That would not be a thing. Because yeah, that would absolutely break them. They redo their file compression. I was digging through the arcade files, and the artworks are higher quality but lower file size. Some of that's probably the Unity engine, but yeah. I feel like the game's download size would explode. It would. It really would. paid live 2D skins would print millions. Oh yeah. I've said it before, right? Like, you guys have seen it. I've given you guys the example. And not to beat this one too badly, but let me find it real fast. Yeah, this is the one I always like to do. So, like, here you go, chat. I'd pay for that. I'd pay for it. Like, imagine you didn't have this as an outfit for Made Alter, right? Like, and technically you don't actually have this specific combination. But so, like, imagine you could pay for this and you get like the in-game sprite and you get the live 2D art. Yeah, fuck it. I'd pay for it. Absolutely. Probably be cheaper than a pack, right? Like, who knows how many packs you spend actually trying to get the freaking unit. So, yeah, I think they would absolutely just start to rake in just from their existing clientele, let alone from the attraction and publicity that they would get whenever there would be a new thing of this. So, who made this? That's right here. But yeah, it's just a fan-made thing, right? Like, goddamn, right? Like, that's what we're talking about. Is like, hey, yeah, you start doing stuff like that, people will be like, what? It made money for them. Why not do it? Yeah. Well, I think it's like, you know, I'm gonna be real with you. I think Aniplex is too stupid to realize the money-making potential of that. Like, I'm sure they've looked at it and they've just thought, that's too much money. We can't do that. It's going to move units. Like, not even just in the gacha, because, like, chat, you come out with that, people will roll Made Alter to be able to use that. So not only will they buy the skin, people will roll her to be able to use that skin. It is a double whammy that you get. You get, hey, oh my god, I want that skin, and you also get, hey, oh my god, I want that unit now. Particularly if it's like a new outfit that has not been seen before. I bought skins before to roll the unit later. Exactly. So yeah, I think that's like, it'd be easy, and it'd be an easy way to sell a unit. Right? I've talked about before, like, one of their problems is like, oh, hey, we have this unit that hasn't been upgraded in years, and then we give them a banner. And we still don't give them an upgrade. And then nobody really rolls the banner. And you're like, well, duh, right? Like everybody that already wanted the unit already has them. And if you were on the fence, you're still not rolling because it still hasn't been upgraded. And if you had decided against it, you're still not rolling because it's like, oh, it's just another banner. But if you give the unit an upgrade, then people that already have the unit might roll more of it. People that basically were on the fence now decide to get it. And people that were in the no category might convert to being on the fence. So it's the same principle. It's like, you don't necessarily have to do an upgrade, but if you throw out a new skin or live 2D or something like that, same principle. People that already had the unit are like, damn! And they roll more. People that were on the fence are like, damn! And they roll it. And people that like were like, no, are like, damn! And they're now in there as well. So it's that easy. I think they look at current skins and see that not happen. Well, I think that'd be one way to do it, is like you keep offering current skins as free. They're not animated. They're, nice, but they are what they are, right? And then you go like, but hey, over here's our fresh new live 2D model that has really cool artwork and adds a new sprite and maybe even animations or something in the game. and you pay us money for it, right? Like, so it'd be fine. You would still have free skins that everyone would appreciate still having, but then you would have this like upper echelon skin where it's like, aha, we have now paid money for this and we now get more bells and whistles because of it. So it'd be like 2 tiers of skin in effect. It's how AL gets all my money. Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, chat, this isn't rocket science. Like, I'm explaining this to you guys, but most of you guys have already even seen this in other gacha games. It's just, it would take Aniplex simply pulling their head out of their ass to realize that, like, yes, this is a potential money-making solution. That being said, do we want them to milk the game more? Do we want them to milk us more? No, not really, right? Like, it's just, yeah, I'm surprised they haven't actually done it, because it is smart of them to do. Oh, summon banners plus my room, but in live 2D. You summon there and get the servants in the main game as well. Yeah, that'd be an interesting thing. They require teams of people to animate and design, and I think that's what keeps it from happening. Yes, because Aniplex looks at that and they go, teams of animators? We can't do that. That's expensive. Shit, we don't even have enough animators to keep our anime functioning on time and on schedule. So they go like, we ain't doing that. That's going to delay another anime. They hear that and it's like the Nom flashback. They start getting PTSD of the Nier Automata anime getting delayed again. And they're like, oh, no. They just start losing their crap. I'm fine being milked as long as it's enjoyable. Spoken like a true man. Flesh Cat is back? Yeah, at least for this stream. But yeah, I just assume that it's probably the older people that are kind of in charge of Aniplex are just right? Like, whereas you start to look at some of these other gacha games, and I think there's a lot more new blood. They're a lot fresher, a lot younger leadership in charge of them, and they're willing to try different things and take chances on stuff, and it's working for them. And at least FGO's developers have realized, hey, we need to be continuing to innovate and do new things to help keep the game fresh. They understand that concept, but I think it's the higher ups that ultimately are the stopgap and stop them from doing anything too crazy. So how many SSRs don't even get different NP animations for different ascensions? Right. Yeah. Like I've said before, I think the animation aspect of the developers is probably the biggest bottleneck that they have. Short of, again, the boss telling them no. Most of the other gacha games aren't coming out of JP. It's Korea and China. Yeah, honestly, like, you've got, like, Uma Musume, FGO. I'm trying to think of, like, there's another, like, really big one from Japan at this point. Because it really feels like it's mostly those two that are carrying the torch at this point. Like, there's a lot of, like, anime spin-off games, but they never really pan out to much because it's usually just a quick cash grab from the company. If FGO players accept rolling useless NP6s as an okay standard for servant completion, FGO devs aren't going to do much innovating. Yep, I agree with that. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think rolling for NP6 is stupid, and I think we only have ourselves to blame. Dokkan. Puzzle and Dragon. Is Puzzle and Dragon really a gacha game? Like, you guys would have to tell me. I've never played it. I know it's always up there. I always assumed it's more of a just like mobile game with like cash mechanics rather than a true gacha game, but I don't know, right? Feels like the higher ups are causing the game to slow to a crawl, but it's stupid because FGO needs to attract new players. Yeah, I agree. And I've said this before. It's like the problem with FGO is not its age. FGO is 9 years old. Who cares? Because you know what other game is older than FGO and still going strong? League. The age of a game doesn't matter. It's how you tend to the game. It's literally the better job you do over time, the more you keep innovating, the more you keep trying to grow the brand and the IP and keep getting new, fresh players in, the more you keep going. But the more you stop doing that, it's the same thing with a stream. If I stop trying to grow the stream, if I stop trying to do all the various things in outreach that I do, my stream will die eventually. Why? Because it will. Because I'm not doing anything. Eventually I lose people over time. It's just a natural course of things, right? But then simultaneously, if I'm, doing that, but then I'm trying to grow, then I have that chance of growing, or at least replacing the lost people. It's the same concept with a video game. You're going to lose players over time. Someone's going to rage quit the game because they didn't get a Resh Kugal. Someone's going to basically decide that they have beaten the game and they're going to stop playing. Somebody on the other hand is going to go man, I'm just super frustrated because I'm stuck in freaking LB5 on Demeter and fuck this game, right? So you're going to lose players for various different reasons over time. What matters is not that you're losing them, but that you are A, trying to retain them as best you possibly can, and B, trying to replace them as best you possibly can. You're trying to get new people in there, and you're trying to keep the players you have. If you're doing those two things, you're good. I don't see FGO really trying to get the new players. I do see them trying to retain. I think they can do a better job, but I think they're trying to retain. I don't really see FGO trying to actually get new players in. Or at least their idea of what they think is attractive to new players is just so disconnected from what your average gacha gamer wants nowadays that they just don't understand. Grand Blue Fantasy would be the best comparison, IMO. Yeah, if you want to compare to other gacha games, sure. I'm just saying the age of a game doesn't matter because you can look at something like League. League started out, chat, as a spinoff from Dota, which started out as a actual mod for Warcraft 3 back in the early 2000s. So we are talking 2 decades of longevity here. League comes in a little bit later, but shit, what's League on? 15 years now, right? It's been going a long time and it's still going strong. It may be not at its peak popularity. It may have a trash reputation because everybody knows that League is League and it's toxic and you shouldn't play it, but people still play it. And it's still got a huge population of players actually playing it. Why? Because it's still trying. If they stop trying, it will die. But as long as they keep trying, it'll keep going. Dota still has 800,000 monthly players? Yeah. Some people never learn. I think it's just League is an ecosystem in and of itself, and I'm not going to try to sit down and macro or micro analyze League. It's just, yes, there is truth to that as long as you're still putting forth the effort, it will continue. If you stop putting forth the effort, it will not continue. It will have its hiccups, it will have its stumbles, and it will die from it. Even knowing it's toxic, I've still played League every once in a lifetime. Yep. Once in a while. I was like, damn, you've played League once. Nice. League is greed with the skins. Oh, absolutely. And I'm not saying that they should go League's route with the skins. I think there's a lot, let me say this. If you're going to do skins in a game, you absolutely should look at League. But don't look at the greed monetization and how much they're valuing them at. Look at how they're implementing them. Look at what they do for their skins, how they vary them up, how they manage to come up with different ideas, different chromas and stuff like that they do. Look at all of that. Don't look at the pricing. The pricing is the one thing you shouldn't look at in League because that is where all the greed is, and that's where they're insane, frankly. CSGO is even older and still makes tons. Yeah, CSGO is an interesting one because CSGO tried to do the whole Overwatch 2 thing where it's like, now we're CSGO 2, and people kind of hated it at first, but I think it's calmed down now, and I assume people are okay with it still. Because again, it's like the same thing. It's like it's too big to fail now, and because they just keep trying, people just accept it. Imagine any new players coming into FGO might not be because of FGO. They're probably coming in after consuming other Fate media. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think like a lot of new players at this point, I think, are either, yeah, hey, I've consumed something else in Fate and I've heard about this game and I want to play it. Or it's, hey, my friend plays this game and I want to play it with them. Like they're always talking about it. They're always doing it. I want to play it. And I think that's good. I think that helps. But that's always going to be the case. Always. It will never stop. You can do better. You can get way more. Because there's a shit ton of people that won't play this game because of the reputation that it has. So you have to start working on that reputation. You have to start changing it if you want to get new lifeblood into the game. And again, I want to be clear. I'm not saying FGO is dying or anything like that. I'm just saying the devs themselves don't seem to be doing the best job of like actually creating inflows for the game. Which may not be on them. Again, their hands may be tied. It may be Aniplex just sucks, right? Also, from the perspective of a new player, it can be intimidating to join FGO at this late stage. So many banners gone by. You're fine. You want to know why? You've missed every fucking banner in the game. Congratulations. In the next 12 months, you will probably see every fucking banner in the game. With a couple of exceptions, right? Like, yeah, you've missed a lot. Doesn't matter. Especially not if you have the money. If you're free to play, yeah, it's intimidating, right? Like, there's a lot to process. I'll be honest with you. I think the most intimidating thing about FGO isn't the banners that you've missed. I think it's the sheer amount of story that you have to go through and understanding the game's mechanics. Particularly the latter. That's why I have the whole new player guide, because, like, damn, FGO is shit at that. Like, our community has been shit at that. Like, there are good resources out there, but if you're a new player, good luck finding them. That is one of the biggest issues. And that's, like, why I have that entire, like, in section of the new player guide is just, like, here are all the resources I used in the creation of this guide. I give them to you. Use them. Right? It's actually doable even as a free-to-play. Joining Pad I would consider as literally pointless at this point. Wait, Pad. What's Pad? How much are skins at League for? Most skins in League are in the like $15 to $40 range. However, there are a group of skins that are in the like 200 plus range now, including the $500 Faker skin. Those are the skins that people have problems with. Any new events might be story locked now. Yeah, I think that's an issue. I think they know it. Like I said, they kind of waffle back and forth on that. Any new player guide super helpful when I started playing 4 months ago. Glad to hear it. Yeah, like I know it's a huge read, but like you can pretty much get every question answered in there. Like seriously. Like I said, I think Puzzles and Dragons. I got you. Yeah, I think quite literally, out of all the like videos and stuff that I made, the biggest video that I probably need to consider remaking at this point is the actual Rare Prism video that I have out there. It's one of my original videos, and finally now, as of like this year, it's starting to become defunct. It's starting to be like, hey, not only like is there extra stuff here that you haven't included, but like stuff has now changed, and you probably need to update the actual logic here that's getting talked to players, because that's a lot of what I do, chat. I try to teach you. I do not try to tell you buy X or Y. I try to teach you the logic. I try to tell you how to think about things and how to attack things, so that if a change gets made, you understand the logic behind it and you understand how to apply it. So you can just go, all right, change happened. It's no longer covered in the guide, but I now know how to handle this. I now know how to think about this and how to approach this. So by teaching you, I don't have to tell you every single time. You now know. You're now smarter. You're a better player for it. And that hurts me as a content creator. Like I say this, it doesn't, but like it does in the sense that like I have had various people over the years that have told me like, oh, I don't care about you or your content anymore because I know everything now. And I'm like, wow. Like, thanks, asshole. It's like, imagine going up to like your like 8th grade teacher and being like, fuck you. I know everything now. Screw you. Like, maybe you hated your teacher, right? Like, that's probably what it is. They hate me, but like, yeah, it's like, damn, wow, what the fuck? You have to be a real piece of work to do something like that. But yeah, it's like, I don't hold people hostage. I don't sit here and tell you like, oh, I'm not going to tell you this. You need to subscribe to me or you're not getting the information. I just go like, yeah, fuck it. You have a question. I'm going to answer it. It's how I've always been. I just want to spread the information to people. Does it come with a signed Faker jersey? So I've heard this said about the $500 skin. It's like, oh, it's an Ari skin. It's like, okay, if it's an Ari skin and I'm paying $500 for it, I better have an actual like Ari cosplayer come to my house and like, you know, blow me basically for $500. Like, holy shit, that is stupid expensive. That skin can never justify its cost, ever. It will never pay for itself. I'm reminiscing about the fact that I maintain 2 different Puzzle and Dragons accounts so I can co-op with myself. Jesus. Give a man a fish versus teach a man to fish. Exactly. Yeah, I've always been teach, right? Started playing Nikkei again. It's got some of the skins there are pretty affordable. You buy a premium pass to get skin in the end. I think it'd be around $25 USD. See, everything everyone's ever told me about the Nikkei skins, they sound super unaffordable to me. We talked about this the other day, but I've said like proper skin pricing should be somewhere in the like $5 to $15 range. Anything more than this, no, you're insane. You're insane. Should not be that expensive. Doesn't mean I haven't bought a skin that's more expensive than that in other games. I think the pricing on that is actually like unhinged. Because again, like I've talked about it before, it's like it's a digital asset. They just have to simply recoup their cost. And there is a price point where if you value it lower, you will get more people to buy it. You'll actually convert more people into payers rather than getting them to like sit there on the fence and go, I'm not paying for this because I'm free to play. If you start valuing it lower and lower, even the free to play start to think, should I really be free to play? I really want that skin. So you actually start increasing temptation as a result of that. But yeah, I think a lot of them just go like, who cares? This is our market analyzed price point where if we price it at like $25 or like $40, we know we're going to get enough simps to buy it. And that's going to pay for the people that would otherwise have been on the fence. To me, though, it's just greed. It's greed incarnate at that point. Because I go like, yeah, again, it's a digital asset. Once you've covered your cost, every additional sale that you make is just more money. Just more money. You don't have any additional cost in it. So yeah, I start to just go like, this is stupid. I do understand, like, yes, there may be marketplace fees and stuff like that attached, but you have marketplace fees attached to everything nowadays, so it is what it is. It's built in. Kat, I feel like you lost that battle already. Lost what battle? I'm not losing. I'm well aware of anything that I spend money on, chat, and why, so... There are different types of Nikkei skins. I'm sure there are, right? Like, I'm just saying, like, to me, I don't care. I'm always of the opinion that DLC of any sort, okay? So that is to say, not the base game. Anything that is an attachment that you need to pay for needs to be reasonably priced. Period. End of story. And it should be either valued against the price of the game, the base game itself, or if we're in a free-to-play environment, of the size of the community and the amount of revenue that you are already generating. If you're generating millions, why did you need to set that at $25? Why couldn't you have set it at 15? You were already keeping the lights on. You're already making so much money. You are now just milking your consumers harder. And in the long term, they don't appreciate that. In the long term, it increases the odds of burnout, aggravation, and again, quitting. Because people just go like, nope, I'm tired of this shit. I don't want to pay for this crap. Build a man to fire and he'll be warm for a day. Set a man on fire and he'll be warm for the rest of his life. It's true. It's actually true. And that's why I always try to gaslight all of you. That way y'all feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I'm considering making a free-to-play FGO account. Any tips of what a free-to-play team comp I should make? No, because it's going to be various depending on the various different nodes and stuff. Like, there's obviously different units that are really good for free-to-play. Go check out my new player guide. I'm dead serious. Like, here's the listing of, like, all the 3 stars and lower for, like, these are the units you probably need to fast-track and prioritize because they're going to be really good for your account. So, a rash, yeah. A rash, Spartacus, like options like that are just really solid for, like, just farming purposes, but, like, it is what it is, right? Like, the general purpose tips for free to play and, like, actually getting through content is more knowing the content that's upcoming, fast tracking certain key units so that you can still get through it and so that you actually know what you're doing. Otherwise, it's more of a, like, priority order of, like, you got to make sure you log in every day. You got to make sure you're doing your free FP roll every day. And you got to make sure that you're actually, like, not wasteful with your embers or other resources so that you're not bottlenecking yourself. What's the guide link? Shit. What is the guide command? I know the mods know it. Is it free player guide? Or new player guide, rather? I think it's exclamation point new player guide. Oh, exclamation point new player. Thank you. Close. And yeah, oh my god, there you go. That's a freaking thing right there. Where did it say that? Yeah, you typed FGO. So Khadroth has been playing FGO NA since October 7th, 2017. His login streak is unbroken. Technically, that's incorrect. It's still correct though. I have never missed a login, chat, on either account since I've been playing. I've never missed a login. The only login that I've missed are forced misses. Freaking Christmas, I log in even on Christmas. It's not hard, chat. Like, for me, spending my AP down is like literally just like in the morning, I spend like 15 minutes. It's nothing. Like, the worst part for me is like, oh, hey, you have a story that you need to read. That takes me time. Like, it's like, oh, hey, you get a new chapter every day. And I'm like, I literally, it's like, alarm goes off. Wake up, pull up phone, go to node, start to read as I'm like getting out of bed. Keep reading, walking towards the door, keep reading. Like, that's annoying. I don't like that. And this is why I've said before, like, I hate the fact that we now get like game updates at midnight, because we used to get story updates at the like 7 p.m. reset. And I used to be able to do them with you guys on stream. I preferred that because that was like, oh, sweet. I can just do it at my leisure rather than like wake up in the morning, do it immediately. You can't access any new node or any new content until you do it. And I'm like in a rush getting ready for work. I hate that. I hate the timing of that. So some people just stay up past that. Like if you're like West Coast, you don't have this issue. But East Coast, oh God, we are fucked by that. Like I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up for work. So that's the problem with that sort of thing. Isn't JP like that for their own time zone? I don't know. I have no idea how JP works in that regard because I've never actually stopped and thought about it. It's like JP for us, like me in the East Coast time playing JP, it resets at like 3 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon and then again at midnight. What that translates into JP time, I have no idea. I think JP is like 14 hours different from me. They are at 6 p.m. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, from what I remember hearing with JP, it's like basically as people are like commuting home from work, which makes sense, right? Because it's a mobile game. You want it to like be doing stuff as people are like, hey, I'm stuck on the frickin' subway, or I'm stuck on the bus. I gotta like you know. I'm captive. I'm a captive audience. I need something to play on my phone. Oh, hey, look, a new update. So, Waver and Hurt goes Burt. Yeah, there's definitely some units that you should try to focus. Streaks have been broken by my parents having emergencies. See, that sucks. But you know what? So hear me out on this, chat. Imagine like something's happened to your parent. I don't wish this on anybody, right? But like you're sitting there and you're in the hospital and you're just waiting for news. I'm playing FGO. It's taken my mind off that. It's a distraction. Like, it's not that you don't care or anything. It's like, dear Lord, I don't want to like get in my own head more than I already need to be, more than I already am. Like anything to distract me at that point. So yeah, that's even in emergencies and like terrible situations. I continue to play FGO. My distraction. It's my comfort. My escape. But yeah, I don't know why JP has like been that way. I just assume that that's the logic behind it. So, anyways, chat. It's like 10:30 already. I don't really feel like playing Metaphor at this point. We've had a long, productive stream. We got to have a long, productive talk with you guys. We got to do a lot of FGO. Why don't we end here? I may stream for you guys this weekend. It depends. I may be going on a date. I may be eating with my parents. I don't know. I'll just, stay tuned. If you guys haven't already, get on the Discord. Again, always love to have you guys there. And like I said, I'll let you know if we're doing something this weekend, and I'll make sure to ping the Discord if I do. But go on a date. Hey, listen, that's not my choice. That's on whether or not the woman lets me take them on a date, right? Like, I can't just go to their house and drag them out. That's illegal. But yeah, it is what it is. Also, again, don't forget the artwork that Shiki did for us. Go give that some love. He did a fantastic job. Let me see. I see CZ on tonight. Let me go give CZ some love. I haven't gotten to raid him in a hot second. Again, CZ is a member of my stream team. He's a member of Team Explosion. If you guys have never checked him out, go give him a follow. He loves to stream other gacha games, unlike me. So you guys know I love FGO. CZ loves FGO too, but CZ loves to play other things like Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, and even things like Snowbreak. If you guys are ever interested in that, you can ask him. He'll show it to you. So again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys always. Go give CZ my love, and have a good weekend if I don't get to see you. Also, get your raid emote ready.